journals, including International Journal of Production Economics, that is IJPE, International Journal of Integrated Supply Chain Management, that is IJASM, European Journal of Operations Research, that is the most renowned AWARDEE, and the International Journal of Production Research, that is the IJPR, and the IEEE Access. I have successfully completed five consultancy projects and three sponsored projects. He serves as the resource person for NPA. He is a life member in ORSA, Indian Society for Technical Education, and a member in AITE. His research interest includes operations management, SCM, and manufacturing optimization. He has vast 28 experience, teaching experience, and with this brief introduction, I welcome you, sir, to this platform to deliver your innovative lecture on the process parameter optimization for machining aluminum metal matrix composites. Professor, sir, please go through your deliberation. I welcome you, sir, Professor Palniyappan, to deliver your innovative topic on this post. Welcome,
Thank,
sir.
thank you, sir. Thank you for introducing me. Okay. Good afternoon, Anandal. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, good afternoon, Anandal. First of all, I'd like to thank Professor P. Rajashekara Reddy, former President, ORSI and ORSI Chapter Tirupati, and Dr. M. Venkateswaran and Dr. M. Anand Kumar, the organizing secretaries of the international webinar, for the opportunity extended to me to deliver my invited lecture on this prestigious international webinar on advances in operational research for optimal humanosphere as a part of centenary celebrations of great Vibhushan Professor C.R. Rao. So I'm happy to be part of this. I'm very much happy to be part of this, and it's being organized by ORSI Tirupati chapter in association with SB University Tirupati. So here I would like to mention that Tirupati, the temple you have mentioned in your brochure. So the temple of Tirupati is joining with the temple city Madurai. So in the slide, what you are seeing is my elevation of my college, Tyagaraja College of Engineering, where I am working. And the background, what you are seeing is the Madurai Meenakshi temple. So Madurai Meenakshi is related to Lord Venkateswara, sister of Lord Venkateswara. So Madurai is very much famous for this Meenakshi temple. So with this association, so that's why so always our Rajshekara have close association with our Tyagaraja College of Engineering ORS after Madurai. So with this, I am going to present my paper which came out of academic research done at my institution. Okay. So at this juncture, I would like to thank the management principal of TCE for their support and encouragement to do a research project and taken up many consultancy works. I owe my gratitude to my co-authors, Dr. N. Jawahar, my supervisor, and my research scholar, G. Navagodi. So those who have contributed a lot of their work in this experimental work. So this work is titled Process Parameter Optimization of CNC Wire Cut EDM Process for Machining Aluminum Metal Matrix Composites. So as I belongs to the core discipline, my discipline mechanical, this work is from an experimental work which combines the mathematical and material science as well as the optimization. So this is going to be a experimental type of work. So this is being, so the motivation, what is the motivation for this work? The motivation behind this work is the globalization. We all know that the globalization, the open market, the product complexity is increasing. So people are coming out with the very complex products. The products are having very much complex mechanism and they are very much compact in size. When the compactness comes, so we have to take care of the weight also. So they want to reduce the weight. So they are going for, at the same time they don't want to trade off their strength. They want to have weight as well as the less weight, more strength. Strength to weight ratio we used to call technically. So this forces the people to go for invention of a newer material, invention and use of newer materials, especially when we come to composites. So composites are the material, newer material comes under the family of newer material. They are having very high strength to weight ratio. That is the main advantage of the uniqueness of composite materials. So we have many composite materials. We have polymer composite materials. Generally, the matrix is made up of polymer. We have metal matrices composites. That is what our discussion today. And we have ceramics matrix composites where the matrix part is going to be ceramics. Generally, that is used for high temperature applications. So now the new metal matrix composites are increasing strength and capabilities are being developed continuously. So as they are developing these new materials, new MMCs, metal matrix composites, we should develop our technology for working upon it. We should develop the capacity to machine the new materials. So that's why when you are going to develop a new technology, the technology should be an optimized one. It should have optimization. So otherwise, nobody is ready to invest huge amount of money on it, because all the newer technology you able to pay more. The pricing pressure, again the global pricing pressure, that is we go to give the pricing at right price at the first time. That is when you are introducing our product, we go to come out with the right price. So this emphasizes on the optimization of the equipment processing. So the whatever the technology we have invented, the technology should be optimized. So for that only the process parameter optimization is taken. So this is one of the motivation. The increased productivity, and everywhere people they want to increase the productivity. That means they want to reduce the non-value order time, and as well as they want to do the optimization on the activities also. Decreased product margins, that is go for again the continuous improvement, especially on optimization of very many parameters. And competition, we are in the global competition, increased global competition, and we want to differentiate ourselves in the competitive market. So these are the things which is motivated us for to take up this particular topic. So this is my overview of my presentation. First, I like to give some snapshot of my work in 3 to 4 slides. Then I'm going to take into detail. So it has got chapters like introduction, problem description, and methodology, what I am going to use, what I have proposed, and what we have done, and manufacturing and analysis of metal matrix composite. Here we are using aluminum as a metal, so AMMC, aluminum metal matrix composite, and robust parameters for the wire EDM processes. So I will explain you. So what is wire EDM? We will see in next slides. And the wire EDM processes, it requires a multi-objective optimization. So we are going to have how we are going to solve the multi-objective optimization, that also we are going to see. Then the result and discussion, and finally conclusion. This is the overview. When you look into the snapshot of the work, so the composite materials usage is increasing in the competitive manufacturing environment. We cannot deny it, because in the competitive manufacturing environment, as I told you, so everybody is want to bring their product very compact. They compact in size as well as in weight. At the same time, they don't want to compromise the strength also. So that's why they are ending up in the composite material. So composite material usage is nowadays very high. So the need of non-traditional machining techniques is essential, because most of the composite, especially metal matrix composites, are high hardness. They are having high hardness, and we go to machine high hardness materials. and the complicated profiles and shapes you have to machine, you have to get the complicated shapes. So the need of non-traditional machining techniques is inevitable. The conventional techniques are taking a long time, and the tool wear is another one very big problem with the conventional machining techniques when machining hard materials. So these non-traditional materials came out as a solution for it to machine high hardness materials. The CNC, wire cut electric discharge machine, that is simply called as a wire EDM. So this wire EDM is one among that non-traditional machine, which has got a which has got a capability to machine extremely hard material, and you can achieve very close tolerance. So because as it is being as computer numerically operated CNC, you can expect a very high accuracy as well as the tolerance. That is very much possible with this. The process parameter setting is critical in this wire EDM. So the wire EDM, it has got direct impact because when you are going to change the process parameters, if the process parameters are not set correctly, definitely your performance is going to affect. It is going to affect the performance characteristics. So that's why it is very critical. We have to set the process parameters intact. So, having this work, we have this paper. It is being published in the journal Transaction of Femina, and the preparation of aluminum matrix composites. It addresses how the aluminum metal matrix composites are prepared. It's a more of a mechanical thing. And second part is going to be our topic. It's close to our webinar topic: the optimization of wire EDM parameters for machining aluminum metal matrix composites, and to improve the key performance characteristics, namely the metal removal rate, the surface roughness, and the kerf width. So here I am introducing three performance characteristics. One is the metal removal rate, MRR. It is being shortly called as MRR. Metal removal rate is the rate at which the metal is being machined or removed from the product. So metal removal rate is closely connected to the productivity. If the metal removal rate is more, the productivity is more because you are able to accomplish your task very quickly. So they used to give paramount importance to metal removal rate because it is connected to the economics of machining. Your machining cost is going to be highly influenced by the metal removal rate. And second one is the surface roughness. So the surface roughness is the surface quality of the machined component, the product. Generally, these metal matrix composites are being used in a very precise applications. It requires very good surface finish. If the surface finish is not as expected, it is not meeting the standard, then the functionality of the product may get deteriorated. So to avoid that, if you want to ensure smooth functioning, then we have to definitely take care of the surface quality. That is, the surface roughness should be as minimum as possible. And next one is a curve width. So in wire EDM, in erosion, here the metal removal mechanism is by erosion, spark erosion. A spark is ignited and the spark is going to develop a spark heat. That heat is used to erode the metal, and when it is going to do, it is going to make a path, the width, that is called curve width. So the width of the spark space, that is called passage of your, so that is called as a curve width. That the curve width should be as minimum as possible, because more amount of curve width means where you cannot achieve very close tolerances. So that is the issue. So we have to minimize the curve width also. So this is being the expected things of a wire EDM machine. So the optimization of wire EDM process is a multi-objective in nature. Just now I told you, we want to increase the metal removal rate. That is the metal removal rate to be increased to achieve machining economics. We want to bring down the cost of production. We have to definitely increase the metal removal rate. And the next one is the surface roughness. As I told you, we want to improve the surface quality. We have to minimize the surface roughness, and if you want to improve and achieve the tolerance, close tolerance, we have to minimize the curve width. So you can see one of the performance characteristics is on maximization. And other two performance characteristics are minimization. So it has got the multi-objective. So this optimization of wire EDM process parameter that machine wire EDM machine is a multi-objective nature. So the prime objective of this study is to obtain optimal wire EDM parameters for machining aluminum metal matrix composites with the maximum metal removal rate and minimum surface roughness and cut width. So now we have understood that the problem what we are discussing is multi-objective in nature. Fine. So as it is being multi-objective in nature, we have to choose the right tool for it. So the right tool what we have taken is the design of experiments. That is for it has got its own limitation. It is only do single optimization. So for make it as a multi-objective, since we are going for gray relational analysis, so Taguchi orthogonal gray is used to find the optimal signal to noise ratio, and the gray relational analysis methodology is used to find the optimum parameters for the multi objective function using gray relational gray. The main experiment is conducted for L18 orthogonal array embedded with the gray relational analysis GRA. And then the analysis of variance ANOVA is used to find the significant levels of the parameters. After ANOVA, for all the three performance characteristics, we have found that the key observations are the metal removal rate is maximized from 35.759 cubic millimeter to 42.229 cubic millimeter per minute. That is a metal removal rate, and the surface roughness is minimized from 4.5 micron to 4.38 micron, and kerf width is minimized from 371 micron to 364 micron, and a confirmation test is also conducted to validate the optimized parameters. So this is the snapshot of my total presentation, my work. So now I am going into the detail. So let's go to the introduction. So we all know that the conventional monolithic materials, they cannot compete in the ever-growing market because of their inherent limitations. If we take steel alloys, they have their own limitations to corrosion and high temperature applications. So like that, if you take any conventional monolithic material, they have their own limitations. They cannot use it for these demanding requirements of competitive environment, manufacturing environment. So if you see, especially the properties such as strength, stiffness, toughness, density are the barriers for the for a wide usage of materials under different working conditions. Especially the stiffness and strength, they play a vital role. So this leads to decrease in efficiency and also in an increase in total manufacturing cost because of the weight factor and strength factor of the material. If we want to go for newer and harder material to achieve all these properties, we are going for newer material. Obviously, for most of the material, they are denser also. So the density, the weight factor is also coming, and strength factor. So all those things are going to have bringing so many constraints. So to overcome these limitations, the composite materials are preferred globally in many major industries. So all the major industries, they are doing the work on bringing new composite materials in place of the existing hard to machine materials or very hard alloys. Among various types of composite materials, so composite materials, as I told you, they can grouped into three categories: polymer matrix composites, metal matrix composites, and ceramics matrix composites. So among the three, our focus is on metal matrix composites. So among the metal matrix composites, aluminum metal matrix composites are used in the aerospace industries, automobile industries, defense industries, nuclear power plant, and electronics, biomedical, and sporting industries because of their properties such as high strength to weight ratio. Here I want to emphasize on the thing high strength to weight ratio. So their weight is less because of the aluminum density is less. So aluminum is going to be the matrix. So as the strength is being reduced, and if you look at the other side, they are not compromising on the strength. So they are having high strength to weight ratio. They have very good high toughness, high specific strength, good wear resistance, and low thermal expansion coefficient. So that can be used for even the high temperature applications also. So in general, the aluminum metal matrices are manufactured or fabricated by many methods. The method what we have chosen is a stir casting method, and it is being very widely accepted method as it is economically it is viable, and it is very simple, so it is being very widely accepted and used by many industries. So among various aluminum alloy, aluminum 6063 is preferred for the preparation of metal matrix composites due to its superior formability capabilities, characteristics. It has got a very good formability, superior formability characteristics. We can get any intricate shape, any complexity you can bring in. Medium to high strength and good corrosion resistance along with low density. That low density is the winner. So low density because of the less weight, these AMCs, aluminum metal matrix composites are very popular in aerospace applications and as well as in automobile applications, where weight plays a major role because the fuel depends on your weight. So if you want to save fuel, you have to bring down your weight. At the same time, you should not compromise the safety. That means strength. So aluminum metal matrix composites are strengthened by reinforcing them with hard ceramic particles such as a silicon carbide, aluminum oxide, or boron carbide. So how aluminum are getting strength? How we are adding strength to it by using the reinforcements like the silicon carbide, aluminum oxide, and boron carbide. So aluminum, we are here. We have chosen the boron carbide. So aluminum boron carbide have potential for combining high stiffness and high hardness. So that's why we have chosen this boron carbide. With the ductility of aluminum still it is there. They still reach the goal of obtaining a stiff low density material. So that is the beauty of the aluminum boron carbide. So here the boron carbide is reinforced. Boron carbide reinforced aluminum composites have stronger interface bonding. When you compare with the other metal matrix composites, especially aluminum metal matrix composites, there is aluminum silicon carbide and aluminum oxide. Silicon carbide, aluminum boron carbide is having an upper edge. The boron carbide ceramic particles are used as a reinforcement material. So three different volumes we want to try. That is a 3, 6, and 9 are chosen. So this is based on the past literature. So we have carried out literature survey. The literature survey said that the workable range is in between 3 to 10. So we have taken 3, 6, and 9 as the three compositions we want to try. So the traditional stir casting. Stir casting is a method which is used for manufacturing metal matrix composites. So it offers stronger matrix particle bonding due to stirring action. So stirring, as the name says, when the metal is being brought to the molten state, the stirring, there will be a mechanized stirrer will be there, and the mechanized stirrer used to give stirring action throughout the process. So that's why we have gone for this metal matrix composite this stirrer method. And when you come to the machining, so the traditional machining, you use the traditional machining like turning, milling, like that. Traditional machining causes serious tool wear due to existence of abrasive reinforcement particles. When you see aluminum metal matrix composites, it has got the reinforcement material. That is a boron carbide is very much abrasive in nature. So as it is abrasive in nature, it causes high tool wear. So we cannot use the conventional or the traditional machining methods like milling, okay, or shaping. So we are forced to go for non-traditional machining techniques. Simply, they are called as NTM, non-traditional machining techniques. So non-traditional machining techniques are preferred for machining newer and harder materials like the metal matrix composites. Among the non-traditional machining techniques, wire EDM shows a higher capability for cutting complex shapes in these materials with high precision. So the process parameter setting, as I told you, it is going to be a very critical one. So now let us go to the problem description. The increased use of new and harder material forces the industries to go for NTM process. There is a non-traditional machining process. So as the new materials are coming into usage, we are supposed to use new technologies. There is a non-traditional machining technologies. The use of wire EDM with the improper parameter setting will result in less precise geometric shapes. Not only shape is deteriorated, you will get an inferior surface quality as well as you cannot achieve the machining economics also. Long time is required to manufacture a cutting tool. So this optimization is very much required, and as we have seen already, the optimization is a multi-objective in nature. The optimization of multi-objective problem is cumbersome, we all very well know, and the innovative solution methods are required to solve it. And the prime objective, again, as I am restating that to obtain optimal wire EDM process parameters for machining AMCs with the maximum material removal rate and minimum surface roughness and curve width. So this is a wire EDM machine which is used for conducting this experiment. This machine model is called EcoCut. That is from, you can see the machine on the left hand side. On the right hand side, the picture shows the cutting process. So of course the spark is not able to see in this particular photo. So this machine is used to cut that wire EDM process, and the process parameters are being set in this. And these are the components which are all machined by the wire EDM machine. You can see the complexity, how complex. So we can see very intricate and complex profiles and very hard to machine materials are being machined using this particular slide. You can see the left hand side and right hand side. So you see many products which are all, and it is being mainly used for making of dies. On the right hand side, you can see so many dies are there. So this wire EDM is the most used method for making dies. So to improve a machining process, the single performance characteristics, optimal selection of process parameter using Taguchi method has been extensively applied. We all very well know it is a single objective optimization. So here the key process parameters are the servo voltage, pulse on time, pulse off time, wire feed, tension. There is a wire tension that what here the tool is a wire. What is a wire tension and volume of the composite boron. So the metal matrix composites, we are making it in three different volumes of boron carbide. That is also included as one of the process parameter. The study focuses on again optimization of the three characteristics. However, the traditional Taguchi method cannot use to extend it to solve multi-objective optimization. So here we are going to introduce a gray relational analysis. The methodology is consists of, first one is the manufacturing and analysis of aluminum metal matrix composites. Second is the conducting the scanning electron microscope. There is analysis, some analysis and attacks analysis. Okay, to ensure the composition as well as the disbursement, even disbursement, and design of experiments for compressing of design and conducting of screening experiment. We have done a screening experiment first, then it is followed by the main experiment, DOE for main experiment, then identification and interaction effect we have done, and conduction of main experiment we have carried out, and analysis which includes the loss function and determination of gray relational coefficient and the gray relational grading and ANOVA. And finally, we have conducted the confirmation test also to validate our experimentation and our work. So the three different volume, as I told you, 3%, 6%, and 9% are chosen. Stir casing is a method for preparing the metal matrix composites, and scanning electron microscope and ADAX are used to carry out the analysis part. And these are the percentage we have taken. So we have taken aluminum as the matrix. First one is the pure aluminum 6063. So there is 0% of carbon, boron carbide, and the quantity we have taken is 450 grams. Then we have taken the 3, 6, and 9. You can see the weight propositions for it. There is a 97% of aluminum 6063 and 3 of boron carbide. Similarly, 94.6 and 91.9. So this is the equipment. That's a furnace stir casting furnace. You can see stirrer in action. So it is melting as well as stirrer is doing the stirring action. And the bottom one shows the casting came out of it. I have shown only one casting. So we have got like this. We got three castings for three percentages. That is for 3, 6, and 9, and these are the SEM images. I'm not going to stop and discuss much on the SEM images, scanning electron microscope images. This is for the 3%, and this is the ADAX report that ensures the distribution, even distribution, and the presence of boron carbide. This is for 6%, ADAX image for 6%, and this is a SEM image for 9%, and ADAX image and the distribution of that for 9%. So the SEM and ADAX results confirms the composition and even distribution of reinforcement and the base metal. So thus our manufacturing of aluminum metal matrix composite is over. One part is over. Let us come to the second part. So the robust parameters for the VIBHUSHAN process. So we all very well know the cost, accuracy, and precision are the drivers of the manufacturing process. The Taguchi has introduced the robust design, and he has mentioned that robustness is the state where the technology or product or process performance is minimally sensitive to factors causing variability. The most common
Excuse me,
approach.
Bruce.
Yes, sir.
Bruce,
Yes, sir.
there is
Please.
7 minutes
Yes,
remaining.
yes,
Can
sir.
you please?
Fine. Definitely. So, taking the account, the following objectives are considered in this VIBHUSHAN. So, as I told you again, maximum material removal rate, minimum surface roughness, and minimum kerf width. So, for that, we have designed the design of experiment. I am not taking much time on this because we are all over knowledgeable people, so I'm not taking much time on it. So we have done the fractional factorial designs, and this one I want to spend some time because this is the influencing parameters which is connected to that particular machining process. There is a servo voltage. There is a voltage which is given voltage for the actual gap between the workpiece and the wire. So this is the voltage used to maintain that spark gap, and pulse on time, the duration of time which the current is allowed, and pulse of time, there is no the interval between the simultaneous spark, and wire feed, wire tensor, peak current, peak voltage. These are the influencing parameters, and we have done some little work on it, and we have gone through the literature survey also. The most influencing parameters are only the five: servo voltage, pulse of time, wire speed, and wire tension. And in addition to that, these five process parameters, we are introducing the additional process parameter, that is the percentage of volume percentage of boron carbide. That is a 369. I have already mentioned you. So this is the screening experiment. The screening experiment, which is used to convert we have taken two levels, 22 and 13 for servo voltage, pulse on time, 114 and 112, and likewise we have taken for volume, we have taken two extremes, 3 and 9, not the 6, we have not used it for screening experiment. So these are the metal pieces which we cut after the machining. So we have measured the curve width, and we have measured the surface roughness, and the material removal rate is calculated using a formula.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah, sorry.
Palnappan,
Yes, sir.
your screen is not visible,
Yeah,
sir.
yes, sir, yes, sir, sir. Something happened. I just I'm checking it. I'm working on it.
Now it is visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the disturbance.
It's okay, sir.
Incoming.
No problem. Sir, you log off yourself and again log on, sir. Then it will be, problem will be rectified.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I will do that.
I request all the participants to have some patience. Problem is being rectified by the Professor Palnappan. Sir, are you there, sir? Professor Palnappan? Hello. Professor Palnappan.
Palnappan mute, close.
Unnada, sir?
Let
Professor
unmute
Unnada?
your-
It is unmute, Prasad.
Okay.
Yeah, now is there. Yeah, Palnappan, just to say some ideas about conclusion.
Yes, you explain orally, sir. We went through your paper, your PPTs.
Sir, unmute,
Explain
sir.
orally.
Palnappan, sir, unmute your mic, sir.
Sir, Palnappan, unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. The conclusions are.
Yes. Now you are audible. Now you are audible.
Yes, sir. So the conclusion says that the material removal rate is a highly influencing parameter, and it has got the very quantum of improvement. And the remaining two things, the surface finish as well as the kerf width, they are having only minimum effect on it. So that is a major conclusion. So by controlling the servo voltage and pulse on time, we can have better improvement in material removal rate. So the DOE results and the GRA gray relational analysis, that is the main key takeaway from our paper, key takeaway from our work. So with this, I conclude. Thank you, Anandal. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, Prasad.
Yes. Hello. Am I
Yeah.
audible, sir? Sir, thank you, Professor Pranayappan, for your most inspiring speech. After going through your paper, we came to know how the operations research is playing a vital role in mechanical engineering. In fact, this is the era of alloys, and you presented a most apt presentation, sir. Any queries from the audience? Do you have any queries? Please ask. Any doubts or any queries about the paper? Of course, this is the topic of mechanical engineering, particularly emphasis about the alloys. Sir,
Yes, sir.
Pranayappan, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Sir, did you consider the parameter durability of the alloy, sir? Aluminum alloy durability.
So durability, we are not taking.
You considered several parameters.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
accept. What
Yes, sir.
about durability, sir? It is
Actually,
also one of the important
actually,
parameters.
yes, sir. Actually, the aluminum 6063, that the matrix material, what we
Yes,
have
sir.
used, that is having storability. That is a very old one that has
Yes.
established a very good durability. But
Okay,
this
okay.
particular MNC, we have to check.
Thank you, sir. Sir, can we carry out such type of similar type of analysis for the organic compounds also?
Yes, sir. We can do so.
The isotopes, like I mean uranium isotopes, U236, etc. Can we carry?
Okay, sir.
Yes. I request all the researchers to go through these ideas for your innovative research. Thank you very much, Professor, for your innovative speech. And may I invite the second speaker of this session, Professor Ganesh. Are you there?
Yes,
Are
sir.
we there?
Yes, 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 sir. Again, good afternoon, dear participants. Welcome
Thank
to
you,
the second.
Pranayappan.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Professor Rasekar sir is.
Yeah, thank you, Pranayappan. Thank you. Yeah, okay.
Thank you,
So
sir.
again, good afternoon, dear participants. Welcome to the second innovative talk of the post-lunch session of today. I am very much privileged to introduce the second session speaker, Dr. T. Ganesh, and Dr. Talari Ganesh is an assistant professor in the Department of Mathematics and Scientific Computing, National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur, of the state Himachal Pradesh. He did his Master of Science and PhD in Statistics from Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. Mana Telugu Bidda, we welcome you. And he worked as an assistant professor in Seshadripuram Institute of Management Studies, Bangalore, and also guest faculty in the Department of Statistics in Pondicherry University, Puducherry, from September 2014 to August 2015. His main research interests are in the area of multi-criterion decision aid, operations research, statistical classification technique, big data, and data science. He worked on stochastic modeling, time series analysis, and forecasting by applying to the gold mineralization and rainfall data using SPSS and R. His current research is focused on multi-choice stochastic transportation problem involving fuzzy programming and evaluation algorithms such as genetic algorithm, differential evaluation, and anti-colonial optimization techniques, etc. They had published more than 23 papers and reputed in international national journals and presented more than 10 papers in various international and national conferences and also delivered 6 invited lectures in various workshops and short-term courses. He is an executive member in ISPS for the year 2017 to 19 and assistant warden of Nilakant Boys Hostel NIT Hamirpur during 2017 to 2019. He is a life member in various professional bodies such as Indian Society for Probability and Statistics, that is ISPS, Operations Society of India, that is ORSI, Indian Science Congress Association, ISCA, Society of Statistics, Computer and Applications, that is SSCA, International Society on Multiple Criteria Decision Making, that is MCDM, and International Society for Development and Sustainability, that is ISDS. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, sir, to this platform to deliver your talk on multi-objective stochastic programming in the framework of statistical distributions. Please go through your deliberation, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice introduction about me. So I would like to thank my professor Rajshekhar Reddy, sir. So because of him only I'm here. So because of his blessings. So I'm settling in the National Institute of Technology, Hamirpur. I joined in 2015 here. So I'm working hard in this, say, with the motivation of my professor Rajshekhar Reddy, sir. So as far as the concern of the today's topic, I'm going to discuss about the multi-objective stochastic programming problem in the framework of statistical distributions. Yes, generally the stochastic programming means that it's involving of some uncertainty. Generally, if you say the linear programming problem, so when there is an definitely it's not any uncertain, the certainty will be there in the either you can say cost or maybe some supply or demand or whatever it may be. If it's a certainty, then we can say simply we can solve it by using the linear programming problem if it is in a linear form. Either it's your objective function or is it subject to the constraints or is in the linear form, then you can go with the linear programming problem. That's it. But when there is in a situation of uncertainty, when they coming to the real life situations, nothing is in linear form. First thing we have to remember. And the second thing is in all the type is in a nonlinear form. Then the nonlinear form, again you can get some complications in that nonlinear form. Then we can say it is some uncertainty will come into the picture. When you are discussing about the uncertainty, so just as per the definitely dealing with the uncertainty situation, probability theory will come into the picture, provided when there is a situation of 50-50 chance, then only the probability will come into the picture. Otherwise, the probability theory will be violated if there is a chances of 70-30 like that. So based on this brief of that, then I'm going to discuss about these main contents of this today's talk. That stochastic programming, that I will get discuss in the brief of that what is stochastic programming, and then how it will be probability constraint will come into the picture in the stochastic programming. Then specifically I have taken transportation problem, and then after that I have converted into the transportation problem into stochastic transportation problem. When we have discussed about the transportation problem into stochastic transportation problem, means that the uncertainty will come into the picture in transportation problem. If you are able to understand that what is the exact transportation problem, then definitely you can identify that where the stochasticity will come into the picture. And then after that, somewhat complications will come into the picture, and we get some complications. Multi-choice stochastic transportation problem, and then I have taken with some case study in that the similar type of transportation problem with stochastic demand and non-linear multi-choice cost. Because something, it is one type of case we have considered in the multi-choice stochastic transportation problem. There are different types of problems you can consider, but specifically I have chosen one thing is that is stochastic demand and non-linear multi-choice cost. So coming to that, what is stochastic programming exactly? So generally it is when it is an uncertainty involving in your objective function, or maybe uncertainty involving in your programming problem, not to go to the objective function. Just when there is uncertainty in your programming problem, then we can say it is just stochasticity will be there. So that is what the stochasticity in nature. So the uncertainty, when the uncertainty will come into the picture, then how you can tackle with the situation. Okay, so there the uncertainty may be for parameters, not for the decision variables. That this is a general linear programming problem where we have considered that minimum of z is equal to summation of j ranging from 1 to n ci 3 j xj. It means that the simple linear programming problem, that hope you remember that what is the exact linear programming problem. Then c is a cost, and cj is a cost of the particular unit, and xj is the product of unit. So unit which multiplies with the cost, so that you have to maximize or maybe minimize of your objective function depending upon the constraints are subject to the constraint. And you can say here C, A and B, Cj, Aij and Bi are considered as the parameters. Okay. And if it is considered parameters, then because of the stochasticity, and then I can say these are all the, these should be follow some these are all the random variables should follow some probability distribution. Why it is called random variables? Because the entire programming problem will be depend upon these three parameters. That's why I have considered these three are maybe random variables. If it is a random variable, it must be follow some probability distribution, obvious thing. So if the if it is follow some probability distribution, then definitely entire programming problem will be turning out into the uncertain in nature. So once it has been turned out into the uncertain in nature, then how we can tackle with the situation? That is what the main problem in this stochastic programming is, that when your parameters are random, you are considering parameters are random variables, and that random variables, if it is considering random variables, that follows some probability distribution. So that probability distribution will be taken considering as a specific probability distribution. Maybe it's depend upon the data what we are considering, or maybe you can assuming that maybe your data follows some normal distribution, or maybe follows logarithmic distribution like that. Well, then exponential distribution like that. Then you can consider basing on that your entire programming problem will come into the picture. That how we can tackle with that. If it is an uncertainty, or maybe then the cost and what is it, cost, supply and demand, if you're considering the transportation problem, then how we can tackle with the situation if they are uncertain in nature. So why it is called a stochastic? So that the constraints are in probabilistic constraints. Actually, then if a delivery service of that experiences of a random demands, and wishes to find the cheapest way to deliver a package with the highest probability, means that let be every constraint is represents some quantity, or maybe some, you can say it is a, here I have considered as a delivery service. It expenses is not cheapest way to deliver, so that how much probability that this will be, means that your probability, what is it, your constraint, how much it is going to be satisfied, means that I'm telling that my constraint will be satisfied 90% of the probability, then that is what your gamma I. Okay, so at what amount of probability that meets your constraint, so that your objective function will be fulfilled. Okay, as usual, you have considered earlier one also, that the Ci, Cj, Aij and Bi are the random variables, and Xj are the decision variables, because these decision variables are depend upon, these are all the parameters, and gamma I is the
But
probability.
hello, have you shared any PowerPoint?
Yes,
You have
madam.
not yet shared
Yes,
now, no?
your screen is not shared, Ganesh. Your screen is not visible.
Wait, sir, wait.
From the beginning itself, it is not visible. I think you, after giving some explanation, I thought that you will share your screen.
No, no, no. I am sure. Is it now? Is it visible?
Now
Yeah,
it is, yes, now it is visible.
Okay.
You briefly go through first and second slides, then
Yeah.
you continue.
Yes, sir. Yes. So what is stochastic programming? That I have already told you that here the objective function is uncertain in nature, maybe constraints are uncertain in nature, then I can say this programming problem is a stochastic. Otherwise, it is a simple linear programming. There is no such difference in that. Simple thing is a minimum of z is equal to some objective function, and then as well as the subject to some different constraint has been come into the picture. Then what is the meaning of that stochastic programming is here? That of stochastic programming is that if your constraint or your objective function is an uncertain, when it comes to the uncertain, if you consider these cost and A and B quantities, these are this only can be changed according to your objective function. The entire objective function will be depend upon only these three. Entire programming problem will be depend upon C, A, B only. So that's why I am considering these three are the random variables, and it follows the some probability distribution. Then definitely this entire programming problem will be called as a stochastic program. Okay. Then when the stochastic program will come into the picture, then coming to the probabilistic constraints. Then the probabilistic constraint is coming into the picture that whether the particular constraint is having how much probability should be meet so that entire my objective function will be fulfilled. Is that at what amount of probability this particular constraint is satisfying your objective function. That is what the interest to give the gamma I. Gamma is the specific probability, that how much amount of the probability means that I can say it is a gamma is a 0.95. Means that 95% of the chances are there to satisfy this particular constraint to the objective function. That is what the probability constraint will come into this. So the simple thing is just to show that what is the probability constraint in this stochastic programming. When the situation is, or when the programming problem appears in this type of model, then I can say it is a simple stochastic programming problem. So the cases are, I have already said that C, A, B are random variables. How we can, if it is specifically, I have taken the cases of if C, J is only random variable and remaining are all deterministic, and this is also in uncertain. If AJ is a random variable and the CJ and BI are the deterministic, and only BI is a random variable, the remaining two are the deterministic, and fourth case will be taken as all are random variables, then how it will be your model. So simple thing here, once your Aij are random variable, case 1, okay, Aij are random variable, then definitely you have to replace your random variable with mean and variance. So you may think about that, why should we replace with the mean and variance? Because it's a one type of quantity should come into the picture. Then definitely if it is always volatile in that, then generally if it is follows some probability distribution, basing on that I can say it is if the mean of this one and variance of this one, because the entire data will be spreading depending upon mean and standard deviation. Generally every curve you can go with the general normal distribution, then the entire spreading of your curve will be depend upon mean as well as the standard deviation. Got it? So that is what, instead of the random variable Aij, I have replaced with that. I have replaced the mean of that particular random variable and then variance of that particular random, where the variance will be coming to the picture because of the number of variables are very high, because J ranging from 1 to n, then I have taken variance covariance matrix. Got it? This is only the case. This is only the case when only Aij are the random variables, because Aij has been replaced with Aij bar, and this meeting constraint, this is the variance should be coming to the picture, because the entire thing will be is your random variable Aij, and Bj I have considered as a deterministic, and as well as the Cj also deterministic. Then coming to the second case, only Bi's are random variables. Then definitely it won't be affect anything, that Bi are different, Bi are replacing with the variance and as well as their mean. Okay, maybe you can just by making this one I have used the normal distribution. Okay, then coming to that, if Cj are the random variable, then only your objective function will be changed. Only objective function will be changed. And then the remaining thing will be as usual. Then coming to the fourth case, that is all are random variables. Then their entire programming problem will be in, like, cost is Cj are random variables replaced with the mean and variance, and Aij also random variables replaced with their mean and variance, and Bi also random variable replaced with the mean and variance. So that any of the four cases, I'm not telling about only one case will be called as stochastic programming. Any of these four cases are stochastic programming, come under stochastic programming. That hope you remember that nonlinear programming, either your objective function or any one of the constant as is a nonlinear form, then you can say the entire programming problem is in nonlinear programming. Similar way here also. Similar way, if any one, either objective function or any one of the constraint is in probabilistic constraint or maybe uncertain of your parameter, then you can say it is simply stochastic programming problem. So there are so much of applications of stochastic programming. Specifically, I have taken transportation problem. Once we discuss about the transportation problem, hope you remember that transportation problem is a extension of linear programming problem. Just I'm giving this brief introduction about the transportation problem, so that how it will be converted into the multi-choice transportation problem, and as well as how it will be stochastic transportation problem will come into the picture. Then the transportation problem, generally we are always trying to minimizing the transportation cost, because we are always trying to minimizing the cost, so that subject to this much of demand and this much of supply will be there. That is only the thing we are going to do. Either you can use any type of method related with optimal methods. You use generally stepping stone method and Modi method. So those methods will give us the optimum solution. There, what we are doing there, the minimizing of all the transportation cost, subject to this much of supply I have. I am going to supply this much based on the how much demand for the destination locations. Okay, so here there are, you are transporting some commodity from origin locations to the destination locations, so that my aim or my objective or my fitness function is minimizing the transportation cost. That's it. There is no other way in the transportation problem. Only thing is we are concentrating on the minimizing the transportation cost. I have listened earlier yesterday's lecture of Pankaj Gupta from Professor Pankaj Gupta from Delhi University. He has considered that his objective function is a maximization of type, because the maximizing the efficiency of choosing the particular vehicle to transport, just to choose transport only. He is not discussing about that what is the transportation cost after delivering from origin location to the destination. Origin location you can consider the supply locations. Destination locations you can say the demand and locations. See here, the first one, there are M origins and N locations are there, M destination locations, origins and destinations. And then first constraint will tell us about that your supply, and second constraint will tell us about your demand. Then as usual, Xij's are decision variables. Then Cij is the cost of unit transport from ith origin to the jth destination. That is what the represent of Cij. Okay, Ai is the ith origin, Bj is the jth destination. Then coming to the stochastic transportation problem, that I have already told you that if you apply that probability of your particular constraint, this is the general one I am telling you. Transportation problem, once your table form you will convert into the programming problem, linear programming problem, then this will be look like this. And if you consider this is a stochastic transportation problem, because my cost, supply and demand is uncertain in nature. When there is uncertainty in nature, then stochasticity will come into the picture. Then I am considering here, what I am considering here, cost, supply and demand are follow some, as they are the random variables. Definitely it must be follow some probability distribution. Okay, so the what type of which random variable, which distribution should be follow this cost and supply and demand, then will be discussed later that what which type of distribution has to be considered for this one. Here the constraints are in probabilistic, means that the supply should satisfy with this much of probability and demand should satisfy this much of probability. Gamma I is probability and delta J probability, and both the probability, because it's a probability value only, it lies between 0 and 1. You can choose this cost, supply and demand follows any type of distribution, because it's a continuously moving. That's why I have considered it a continuous random variable. Then why it says a multi-choice stochastic transportation. Stochasticity also already will be there in the as per your constraints. Coming to the multi-choice, because if you are transporting from origin to the destination, there are so many number of choices will be there. Either you can go by truck, or you can go by public transport, or you can go by air, or just only thing is from where you are transporting your goods or products from origin to the destination location. There are different types of choices are will be there. That's why I have chosen multi-choice type. The same stochastic transportation problem, because cost is also is a random variable if you consider, but here I have considered it is a multi-choice stochastic. Okay. Now I am considering an example of that. In that, the transportation problem with stochastic demand and non-linear multi-choice. Okay. So the problem mainly consists of three parameters that I already discussed, that cost, supply and demand, which cost parameters are considered as a multi-choice type due to fluctuations in the sale of the product or maybe expectation of the market, and demand is always not fixed generally. Only thing, depending upon the demand only, supply will be will be considering, or maybe say let it be to, what do you say, tomorrow's demand of the onions are this much of amount. If you expecting that, then the supply will be, or maybe storage locations are will say that okay, I'll transport this much of amount basing on these type of multi-choice transportation. Then after reaching to the destination location, if you say that it is not at all require that much of amount, then it is a loss of the minimum, the transportation cost will be heavy and you can't get any profit in that. And here the parameters of transportation problem, demand is considered as a random variable which follows the Galton distribution with multi-choice objective. Okay, here I'm considering only stochastic demand and non-linear multi-choice cost. Why it is a non-linear multi-choice cost? Cost, let it be, you have transported some amount of the product to the destination location. Some amount will be in your origin location only. For that also you have to consider for the how much cost should be there. So that is what we are considering in this one. Non-linear multi-choice cost is just in this example, or in this case study I have taken only demand is a random variable. Okay, demand is a random variable, and cost, what is a supply is let it be, it's a deterministic form, and the cost is non-linear multi-choice cost. Multi-choice cost I have already discussed. Then what is the meaning of non-linear? Because the units of product transferred from ith origin to destination subtracted from the total supply upon total supply of the product from ith origin. See that how much of amount has been left out in the origin from the total of that after transportation. That is what I'm saying. After transportation, how much of amount has been left out in the origin, that is also should be multiplied with your cost. Okay, so that it is assumed that extra cost is considered that amount product remaining at the origin after transportation. So here the YIJ, what is the YIJ? Units, number of units transport from ith origin to the destination. As usual, SI will be is a total supply of from the ith origin. Then after basing on these considerations, I have converted into the mathematical model that this is transferred multi-choice cost plus how much has been left out from the origin. So that total unit must be multiplied with the how much of cost. This is total cost has been transported, and this is left out from the origin, so that it will be multiply of both. Because of this ratio, then you can say it is non-linear multi-choice. Non-linear multi-choice cost. Provided supply I have not considered any what do you say, a random variable, only demand as considered as a random variable, it must be satisfied with some, it should be the demand constraint should satisfy with some probability. That is probability will be 1 minus delta J I have considered. Okay. Then because of the multi-choice should be converted into the single choice. There are different techniques are there. Chance constraint technique are there. Then Lagrange multiplier are there to convert the multi-choice into the single choice. here I have applied Newton divided difference interpolating polynomial. Okay, Newton divided different interpolating polynomial, and after that I have introduced the integer variable. For that, the parameters maybe you can say it is different types of multi-choice cost are there. So first order differences and second order and wth order of the differences. This has been replaced in your objective function. So after Newton divided difference, hope you remember that f of x naught plus x minus x naught into fx naught fx1 and plus x minus x naught plus x minus into x minus x1 into x minus x2 like that and so on. You can get it x minus xn minus 1 like that. So that this entire thing will be considered as a FL of Vij. Then your original objective function. What is what original objective function? This objective function will be turned out in this. Okay, in this form. So that the entire problem will be, and after that I have considered a Galton distribution, that the demand is follows a Galton distribution or log normal distribution. Then I have considered I have replaced with the mean as well as their variance, and where delta j is taken from the standard normal distribution, or you can say cumulative distribution. The value of the delta j is taken from the standard normal distribution, so that at what amount of this demand is satisfying the objective function. Okay, so this is the general mathematical model. And then coming to the example, numerical example has been considered. It is a case study I have taken in this mathematical model. A furniture industry manufactures different types of furniture, transform its product from different stores of different dealers in India. There are three types of origins. This is only the what is a furniture, because it's an integer only. There is not there won't be any number of amount has been transferred. No, how many number of it will be, definitely it will be integer. That's why I have introduced the integer variable in the objective function. While applying the Newton divided difference interpolating polynomial, then I have introduced the integer variable because of this one, furniture industry. Okay, so there are three origin locations, that is Hamirpur, Mandi and Kullu, and then 4 dealers are there, that is Rampur, Sundarnagar, Sujanpur and Bilaspur. These are all the locations of Himachal Pradesh where the furniture has been transformed from Hamirpur to Rampur, Hamirpur to Sundarnagar, Hamirpur to Sujanpur and Hamirpur to Bilaspur, like that. Then a combination will come into the picture. So that the transportation cost, there are multi-choice and some uncontrollable factors such type of convenience and fluctuations in price of fuel, conditions of the road, etc. Okay, so basing on that, I have considered the cost is in multi-choice. Okay, so there are 3 types of origins and 4 types of destinations that I have to consider. And how many number of furniture has been appear in the has been available in the Hamirpur? It's 19, Mandi it's 15, and Kullu is 16. The demand is uncertain in nature. That's why I have replaced with the, after applying the Galton distribution, I found out that what is the mean of the Rampur. Demand of the mean of Rampur is 9 furniture, and Sundarnagar is 6, and Sujanpur is 7, and finally Bilaspur is 5. And then what is the variance of the demand? How many what is the deviation of that? So that I have made it is 5, 2, 3 and 4 respectively. So that just it is there is no specific rule that why we have taken only delta 1 is 0.43 and delta 2 is 36% and delta 3 is 28% and delta 4 is 41%. There is no specific one, that just I have applied this one. It's not specifically any rule to choose what is reason behind to choose the delta 1, delta 2, delta 3 and delta 4, how much it is. Okay, now this is the transportation cost. There are 3 types of transportation cost for Hamirpur to Rampur. Okay, then multi-choice cost. That is what I have taken. I have considered the multi-choice objective function. Hamirpur to Rampur 3 choices are there. Hamirpur to Sundarnagar 4 choices are there. But Hamirpur to Sujanpur only 2 choices. Hamirpur to Bilaspur only again 3 choices are there. Basing on the route has been made by the government. Basing on that only, we have chosen these type, how many types of transportation cost from origin to the destination. Okay. Now, after applying the same whatever we have discussed, the objective function, so I have considered that the entire data converted into the mathematical model, whatever I have proposed, subject to the different constraints. So hope you remember, first three constraints are the supply, and the remaining constraints are the demand. And you can see T11 is lies between 0 to 2, and T12 is lies between 0 to 3, and T13 is lies between 0 to 1, like that. Transport from first to third. Okay, basing on that, I have taken the limits, because its number of furniture product is an integer. Based on that only I have considered. Then, after applying the Lingo software, okay, Lingo software, I have obtained these results. The stochastic constraint converted into deterministic using chance constraint programming, and the model has been converted into the multi-choice into the single choice. Then we have used Newton divided difference interpolating polynomial, and the main objective of this program, considered example, is to minimizing the transportation cost as per the subject to the constraint whatever we have considered, and the only subject to the constraint we have considered that supply is in not in a random, only demand is in random. So basing on that, y11, the units transformed from first origin to the first destination, it requires only 9. First origin to the second destination 6, and second origin to the fourth destination is 5. Third origin to the third destination is only 6. The remaining rest of the variables are 0. So that your transportation cost is 581.46. Okay, because the cost is not in an integer, that's why transportation cost may be different. Maybe the similar type of example you can consider that only I have taken demand is a random variable, and you can choose that if supply is also random variable. Cost, multi-choice cost, maybe you can take as a single choice cost, only single choice. From, you can say, Delhi to Hyderabad, there is only one way of the transporting goods, maybe only road you are considering, then single choice will come into the picture. Then no need of discussing about the Newton divided difference interpolating polynomial, and then transportation of demand and supply is a random variable. That you can, because I am assuming that it follows this much of this distribution. Otherwise, based on the case study, you can choose different types of, if it follow different types of distribution, then definitely your transportation cost will be different. Yeah, thank you. Any doubts regarding this?
Thank you very much, Dr. Ganesh, for our inspiring presentation of the multi-objective stochastic programming in the framework of statistical distributions. I request the participants to ask any doubts, any queries, and Professor Ganesh is ready to answer your questions. There are no queries. I have one query, Ganesh.
Sir.
Did you consider the space constraint also? It is also a random variable in most situations.
Sir, which
constraint? Space.
Okay.
It is also you try to solve. You try to include that constraint also,
okay.
Which is now the major problem in so many cities, particularly in transportation.
Yes, sir.
And what about the sensitivity analysis of the model? Did you discuss the sensitivity analysis, Ganesh?
Yes, sir. Actually, I have discussed the sensitivity model also, because due to the time bound only, I have not discussed.
Yes.
So I have discussed the sensitivity model, because without sensitivity, we can't say that how much transportation from
yes.
You can't say that.
And I observed there is considerable saving in this particular model.
Yes, sir.
This multi-constraint transportation problem.
Yes, sir.
And thank you very much for sharing your ideas
Sure.
on this platform, particularly
Sure.
the most innovative transportation problem. And thank you very much. And before giving the mic to my teacher, Professor Rajshekhar Reddy, and let me thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to share the chair of this conference. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Prasad, Darwis Prasad, for sharing the session. And I'm happy about Dr. Ganesh, the way of your presentation from November 2016 to this date has improved a lot. I'm
Thank you,
very
sir.
happy. So I would like to say two words about Ganesh. Ganesh, though he did my PhD with me, but I have seen him in Jammu conference while he was presenting a paper without my knowledge. Somebody told me. I went there and sitting in the audience and watching his paper, how he is going to present. After seeing his presentation, then on that day, I have noticed that Ganesh is having a zeal. So if I motivate him in proper way, then he will definitely come up. So that from that place, that time onwards, I motivated him nearly 25 to 30 conferences, exposures. I am sure Monisha will definitely say that because of the exposure going to Australia today, I have done many ISPS president, Water Set Up India president, many conferences and workshops which I have done. So exposure is more important. So that's why Ganesh is very lucky. I have seen him and I have motivated him to go. He told me that anywhere I can go and work, sir, no problem. Today I'm happy that he is now in Himilpur, Simla, and I am confident that definitely Ganesh will have very good future. I will see him in some other very good institutions in the near future. So good luck, Ganesh. I'm
Thank
happy.
you, sir.
And
Thank you, sir.
always,
Thank you.
if he comes to any place, he will talk about only subject, not anything related, except
Yes, yes.
subject. Defining. So I'm
He is
very
very,
happy.
very confident, sir. He is very
Yeah,
confident during
yes.
his presentation,
Yeah,
and
so
he is
one
very
of my
confident
best
with his
students
results.
under my guidance. Thank you, thank you. All the
Yes,
best.
sir. Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you, sir. Without
yeah,
your guidance, I cannot be in this position.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Ganesh. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. Without your guidance, I cannot be in this position, and I may not be this much of confident to deliver my lectures.
Yeah,
So I'm very much. I can't say it's a thank only, but it's from my whole heart. I can say simply it's just a motivator, or maybe you can say. So simply,
yeah.
some people will say that just a guide only, but it's more than that for me.
And Professor Rajshekhar Reddy gave life to several persons
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
in
Yes,
this
sir. But
manner,
I,
and
I'm the
I
luckiest
particularly
person
know
among
it.
those
I
people
particularly know
who
it.
have, sir, who have
Because
taken the life from my
it is
sir.
the blessing
I'm the
of
luckiest
Lord.
one.
What I am doing, it is blessing of Lord only I am doing.
Yes, 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 yes.
So, okay, coming to next one. So there will be now a documentary film. After that, there will be valedictory address by Professor Rajgopal from Coimbatore. Then concluding one. So now the next session is completely documentary of Professor C.R.RAO. Then the valedictory address by Professor Rajgopal, ISI Coimbatore. After that, we'll have it. So next program. రాజగోపాల్ మైక్లో పెట్టుకోండి నేను చెప్పాలా ఏదైతే పెట్టుకోండి చూపు well first we will have a documentary which we have sent it to from Coimbatore to me so that we are now just going to display that documentary of CRRAO.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Prasad, for sharing.
Thank you, sir.
On the occasion of the inaugural session of the international webinar on advances in operational research for optimal HUMANOSPHERE, organized by the Operational Research Society of India, Tirupati chapter, in association with the Department of Statistics, Venkateshwar University, Tirupati, SV Engineering College, Tirupati, and Indian Society for Probability and Statistics, to celebrate the birth centenary of PADMA Professor C.R.RAO. All invited speakers, all the participants who have joined this event from different parts of our country and outside India, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am extremely honored and delighted to give an inaugural message on this occasion of academic celebration of the birth centenary of Professor C.R.RAO. Friends, as a retired professor of statistics and ex-vice chancellor of Nagpur University, I would like to mention here that many people claim to have the subject knowledge of the discipline called statistics and call themselves as statisticians. However, it is strongly believed that the one who is ignorant and have not acquired official training of the classical statistical inference cannot be called as a statistician. I would like to add to this further that the one who does not know Professor C.R.RAO loses the right to call himself or herself an statistician. This is how is the greatness of Professor C.R.RAO in the field of mathematical sciences. Friends, as we all know that the aim of this webinar is to bring researchers, academicians and corporate people related to the operational research theory to a common platform, I have no doubt that there will be exchange of innovative ideas which will certainly help to inspire brilliant minds to carry out valuable research work in this discipline. Renowned and very learned speakers are going to deliberate their innovative research contributions during the course of 3 days of this webinar. I am absolutely sure about the fruitful outcomes of this event. I extend my hearty congratulations to the organizing team and wish all the best for grand success of this webinar. Thank you.
చెన్నపట్నం సమీపాన చిన్న గ్రామం కళ్యంపూడికి. ఆ ఊరికి చెందిన సిడి నాయుడు ఓ పోలీసు అధికారి. ఆయన బళ్ళారి జిల్లా హడగళ్లిలో ఉద్యోగం చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఆ ఇంట కన్ను తెరిచిన 8వ సంతానమే సిఆర్ రావు.
మా ఫాదర్ ఏమో రామానుజం అటువంటి వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు కదా, మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ బాగా పనిచేసిన వాళ్ళ గురించి చెప్తూ ఉండేవారు. కొన్నాళ్ళు అయిన తర్వాత రీలాంటి గణితం అనే పుస్తకం ఉంది. ఆ పుస్తకంలో నుంచి మా ఫాదర్ ఏమో నువ్వు కూడా లెక్కలను చేయమని చెప్పేవారు. సో అట్లా వచ్చిందనమాట ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇన్ మ్యాథమెటిక్స్.
తన బిడ్డ గణిత శాస్త్రంలో పిహెచ్డి చేసి అధ్యాపకుడు కావాలన్నది తండ్రి సిడి నాయుడి అభిమతం. ఆయన కోరిక మేరకు సిఆర్ రావు విశాఖలోని ఏవిఎన్ కళాశాలలో 1935లో ఎంపీసీ గ్రూప్తో ఇంటర్లో చేరాడు. అక్కడ ఎంతో ప్రతిభ చూపాడు. ఫలితంగా నోబెల్ బహుమతి గ్రహీత సివి రామన్ తన తండ్రి పేరిట ప్రవేశపెట్టిన చంద్రశేఖర్ అయ్యర్ స్కాలర్షిప్ సిఆర్ రావుకి దక్కింది. ప్రొఫెసర్ పిసి మహలనోబిస్ పేరు దేశమంతా మార్మోగిన సంవత్సరం. భారత్లో గణాంక శాస్త్ర అభివృద్ధికి అతడు ఆద్యుడు, బాధ్యుడు.
Pioneers in the sense that he set the pattern for statistical education. And education in India in statistics is very balanced. We have a good deal of statistical theory and also applications. But it's not so in other countries. They specialize in particular aspects only.
Concept to India as far back as in 1948 to propagate SQC techniques.
Because if you want to produce a product which involves the combination of several elements, say several chemicals and so on. So what's the best combination of various ingredients which would give the best possible product? So that needs experimentation.
1941లో కోల్కతా విశ్వవిద్యాలయం ఓ సంచలన నిర్ణయం తీసుకుంది. భారత్లో తొలిసారిగా స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ లో పోస్ట్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ కోర్సు ప్రవేశపెట్టింది. మహలనోబిస్ సూచన మేరకు సిఆర్ రావు అక్కడ ప్రథమ బ్యాచ్లో చేరి 1943లో ఎంఏ చేశారు. అంతేకాదు డిస్టింక్షన్ సాధించారు. సిఆర్ రావు రాసిన సిద్ధాంత వ్యాసాలకు గుర్తింపే కాకుండా బహుళ ప్రాచుర్యం కూడా లభించింది. స్టాటిస్టికల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ప్రచురించే అకాడమిక్ పత్రిక సాంఖ్యలో ఆయన వ్యాసాలు ప్రచురితమయ్యాయి.
కేంబ్రిడ్జ్ యూనివర్సిటీ వాళ్ళు ఆఫ్రికా వెళ్ళి ఓల్డ్ స్కెలిటన్స్ తీసుకొని వచ్చారు. అది ఎలా అనలైజ్ చేయాలి, 800 years బ్యాక్ ఓల్డ్ స్కెలిటన్స్ అది వాళ్ళకు ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి సంబంధం ఉందా అని కనుక్కోవాలని వాళ్ళు రీసెర్చ్ చేస్తారని తీసుకొచ్చారు బోర్డ్స్. వాళ్ళకి ఎలా డేటా అనలైజ్ చేయాలో తెలియలేదు. మేము కలకత్తాలో మెథడ్ డెవలప్ చేశారు అటువంటి మెథడ్స్. అందుకని నన్ను ఇన్వైట్ చేశాను కేంబ్రిడ్జ్ యూనివర్సిటీ వాళ్ళు. అక్కడ జాబ్ తీసుకున్నాను కేంబ్రిడ్జ్ యూనివర్సిటీ టు వర్క్ ఆన్ దిస్ ఓల్డ్ స్కెలిటన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆఫ్రికా.
ఈ నేపథ్యంలో పిహెచ్డి చేసే అవకాశం, ఏకంగా సంఖ్యాశాస్త్ర పితామహుడు ఫిషర్ నేతృత్వంలోనే పరిశోధన సాగించే అదృష్టం ఆయనకు దక్కింది. 1948 తన 29వ ఏట సిఆర్ రావు కేంబ్రిడ్జ్ నుంచి స్వదేశానికి తిరిగి వచ్చారు. లోనే సిఆర్ రావుకు ఇల్లినాయిస్ యూనివర్సిటీ విజిటింగ్ ప్రొఫెసర్ గా పనిచేసే అవకాశం దక్కింది. అక్కడి డిజిటల్ కంప్యూటర్ పరిజ్ఞానాన్ని భారతీయ గణాంక సంస్థలో ప్రవేశపెట్టడానికి కృషి చేశారు. అనంతరం 1962లో ఆయన స్టాన్ఫోర్డ్ యూనివర్సిటీలో అదే గౌరవాన్ని పొందారు. 1965లో రావు ఓ పుస్తకం రాశారు. లీనియర్ స్టాటిస్టికల్ ఇన్ఫరెన్స్ అండ్ ఇట్స్ అప్లికేషన్స్ శీర్షికతో వెలువడిన ఆ పుస్తకానికి నేటికి ఆదరణ తగ్గలేదు. రావ్ బ్లాక్ రియలైజేషన్, చంద్రుని దూరాన్ని ప్రత్యక్షంగా కొలవడం అసాధ్యం. ఇటువంటి సంక్లిష్ట పరిస్థితుల్లో శాస్త్రవేత్తలు రావ్ బ్లాక్ రియలైజేషన్ పద్ధతిలో స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ ను ఉపయోగించుకుంటారు.
స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ ఉంటే బెటర్ రీసెర్చ్ ఇన్ ఆల్ అదర్ సైన్సెస్. మొదట స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ అప్లికేషన్ ఆంథ్రోపాలజీ కదా, అది డయాబెటిక్స్ అనమాట. దాని తర్వాత ఎకనామిక్స్, జెనెటిక్స్, వీటిలో స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ ఉపయోగించి రీసెర్చ్ చేసేవాళ్ళు. హౌ టు డిటెక్ట్ స్పై ప్లేన్స్ అండ్ హౌ మెనీ స్పై ప్లేన్స్ ఆర్ ఫ్లైయింగ్, ఎలా వెళ్తుంది ప్లేన్స్, బికాజ్ దే షూట్ చేయాలి కదా. సో ఏ డైరెక్షన్లో పోతున్నది అవన్నీ కనుక్కోవడానికి స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ చాలా ఉపయోగపడుతున్నాయి.
16 దేశాల్లోని 28 విశ్వవిద్యాలయాలు గౌరవ డాక్టరేట్లను ప్రకటించాయి.
నోబిస్ మరణంతో ఇండియన్ స్టాటిస్టికల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ బాధ్యతల భారం పూర్తిగా సిఆర్ రావుపై పడింది. ఆ సంస్థ సెక్రటరీ డైరెక్టర్ గా ఆయన విధులు చేపట్టారు. టోక్యోలోని ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్టాటిస్టికల్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ సెంటర్ కు ఏడాది పాటు అధిపతిగా వ్యవహరించారు. ఈ పదవిలో ఉంటూ ఆసియా దేశాల్లో గణాంక శాస్త్ర ఆవశ్యకతపై అవగాహన కల్పించారు.
ఏషియన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ అని జపాన్లో ఉంది. 30 years నుంచి రన్ అవుతుంది. బాగా స్టూడెంట్స్ వెళ్తూ ఉంటారు. అండ్ ఆఫీసర్స్ వర్టికల్ స్టాటిస్టికల్ ఆఫీస్ ఇన్ సౌత్ ఈస్ట్ ఏషియా పీరియాడికల్గా అక్కడ పోయి స్పెషల్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఎలా చేయాలని నేర్చుకుంటున్నారు అన్నమాట. బట్ కలకత్తాలో మాత్రం సెంటర్ ఉంది, ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్టాటిస్టికల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సెంటర్. ఇప్పటికీ స్టూడెంట్స్ వస్తూ ఉంటారు. దానిపై బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ డైరెక్టర్స్ ఉన్నారు, అండ్ చైర్మన్ ఆఫ్ బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ డైరెక్టర్స్. సో ఎవరి ఇయర్ అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి అంత ఫైవ్గా ఉందా ఏమైనా మార్పులు కావాలన్నా ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కావాలని చూసి వాళ్ళకి చెప్పేసి చెప్తూ ఉంటారు.
సిఆర్ రావుకు పరిశోధనే ప్రాణం, విద్యా బోధనే జీవితం. గణాంక సంస్థ విధుల భారంతో బోధనకు అన్యాయం చేస్తున్నానన్న బాధ, అపరాధ భావం ఆయన్ను తొలిచేది. ఫలితంగా 1976లో భారత గణాంక సంస్థ సెక్రటరీ డైరెక్టర్ బాధ్యతల నుంచి వైదొలిగారు. అయితే స్టాటిస్టికల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆయన్ని వదిలిపెట్టలేదు. ఆ సంస్థ తమ ఢిల్లీ విభాగంలో నియమించి జవహర్లాల్ నెహ్రూ పేరిట ఏర్పాటైన ప్రొఫెసర్షిప్ ను అప్పగించింది. 1979 దాకా ఆ పదవిలో ఆయన సేవలందించారు. ఆ ఏడాదే అమెరికాలోని పిట్స్బర్గ్ యూనివర్సిటీలో ఓ చర్చాగోష్ఠిలో పాల్గొన్నారు సిఆర్ రావు. రావు మేధస్సు, వాగ్ధాటి, విషయ పరిజ్ఞానం ఆ యూనివర్సిటీ డీన్ను విశేషంగా ఆకట్టుకుంది. తమ యూనివర్సిటీ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ విభాగంలో ప్రొఫెసర్గా చేరాలని ఆహ్వానించారు. అతి కష్టం మీద రావును ఒప్పించారు. తన హయాంలో విప్లవాత్మకమైన మార్పులు చేపట్టారు. దిశానిర్దేశం కరువై నిస్తేజంగా ఉన్న స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ విభాగానికి అమెరికాలోనూ ఆయన జీవం పోశారు.
Ladies and gentlemen, the National Medal of Science laureates: Andreas Akrivos, Francisco J. Ilea, George F. Bass, C.R.RAO, Gabor Semorjai, Elias M. Stein. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much. Please be seated. Thank you all very much, and welcome to the White House. It is it's an honor to be with so many incredibly bright and innovative people. I want to welcome the winners. I want to welcome your family members. I want to welcome your friends. And I want to welcome those of us who are just happy to be in your presence. The science and technology leaders here today have turned genius and persistence into knowledge and technology that will shape lives for decades to come.
C.R.RAO, Pennsylvania State University, for his pioneering contributions to the foundations of statistical theory and multivariate statistical methodology and their applications, enriching the physical, biological, mathematical, economic, and engineering sciences.
లో పెన్సిల్వేనియా విశ్వవిద్యాలయం రావును ఆహ్వానించింది. అక్కడ ఎబర్లీ స్టాటిస్టికల్ విభాగంలో ప్రొఫెసర్గా 2001 వరకు సేవలందించారు. ఆయన సేవలకు మెచ్చిన విశ్వవిద్యాలయం తిరిగి గౌరవ ప్రొఫెసర్గా నియమించింది. నాటి నుంచి నేటి వరకు అవిశ్రాంతంగా పరిశోధనా కార్యక్రమాలను పర్యవేక్షిస్తున్నారు. ఆయన పేరిట హైదరాబాద్లోని ఉస్మానియా యూనివర్సిటీలో అడ్వాన్స్డ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ను నెలకొల్పారు. హైదరాబాద్ కేంద్రీయ విశ్వవిద్యాలయాన్ని కూడా అడపాతడపా సందర్శిస్తూ సలహాలు సూచనలు అందిస్తున్నారు. ఆయన తన ఆచార్య ప్రస్థానంలో ఇంతవరకు 400 పరిశోధనా పత్రాలను సమర్పించారు. 50 మంది PhD విద్యార్థులకు గైడ్గా వ్యవహరించారు. అయినా అలసట లేని అవిశ్రాంత శోధకుడు. ఎన్నో పదవులు, మరెన్నో హోదాలు ఆయన్ను వరించాయి. చరమాంకంలోనూ గణాంకాల ఊసులే. ఆ ఉత్సాహానికి, అంతులేని జిజ్ఞాసకు వయస్సుతో పనిలేదు. అతడు నిత్య విద్యార్థి, నిరంతర పరిశోధకుడు.
ఇప్పుడు కాదు, వ్యాలిడేటర్లో కదా రాజగోపాల్ రాజగోపాల్ లేడా?
Yes, I am there.
Yeah.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Happy evening.
Sir, next we have valedictory address by Professor Rajagopal. So I'm happy to introduce Professor Rajagopal, sir. Professor Rajagopal sir is a world-renowned data scientist and Six Sigma trainer and practitioner. Sir has started his career in ISI Kolkata from 1975 onwards, visiting over 200 companies, solving over 1,000 business issues, training more than 1,000 corporate executives around the world during his illustrious career for more than 4 decades, and his current work in risk management of COVID situation and new recognition from Swiss in healthcare analytics. Sir has advised, consulted many MSME companies on the importance of design and quality, which has resulted in international collaborations like Spring with Japan, Auto with France, Textiles with Italy, and first to introduce 100% cotton yarn to MS with the Israel collaboration from Salem. Reason for training in Meptal, Reliance, Tirupur Processing, Erode, and many textile units in southern India. So we are happy to have you here, sir. Please take out the session. Sir, please unmute, sir. Rajagopal, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the good introduction. Very important thing is that I started in ISI with Dr. P.R.C.R.RAO association. That's the only qualification. All other things are all as a part of my work. I should definitely congratulate our Dr. S.V. Reddy Garu. Actually, he is known for conducting such a innovative events in Tirupati in a very, very grandeur manner, involving cross-sectional people. The statistics by itself is not working. By itself, it cannot. But if it is used in other domain, it is revealing surprising results. Surprising results. So in that way, I have seen Dr. S.V. Reddy Garu bringing data security people and crime in cryptographies and also in biostatistics. This time operations research. These are something that today the statistical techniques are wanted. I will put it this way: who doesn't want? Who doesn't want statistical techniques today? All domain people are, whether it is doctor in nephrology, gynecology, orthopedics, in healthcare, every domain, they are asking with plenty of fund and plenty of data is being unused. I should say that this area is one area where optimization is possible between time, cost, and dosage. There are two types, but most of the work we have done is continuous variable optimization. I am yet to get myself used to discrete variable optimization of nominal categories, where Dr. Taguchi and Dr. C.R.RAO have done good job on frequency analysis of optimizing the quality parameters. That component is now I find much usable in healthcare analysis, where asymptomatic and symptomatic counts are given. They call it outcome, we call it response. They call it risk factors, we call it variables. I find the nomenclature is in healthcare was little bit different when, as in the case of software also. But the model that we are making is fundamentally the same approach. The accumulated frequency analysis. They use the word clinical trial. We use the word experimentation. So when I use the word trial and I use the word, if you buy a car, you use that you want to have a trial drive. That's what we ask. We don't say the word experiment the car. Trial drive. But they use the word going with randomized control trial. Usually they talk about RCT. But when it comes to I'm talking healthcare little bit because the optimization there is scope is very high, I found. In fact, I want to discuss with some of the experts like Dr. Ganesh Chalari and Dr. Chaitanya. And I also happen to be Dr. K.G. Ramamurthy. Many of you maybe would have heard. He was in Delhi ISI for a long time. He was my teacher, Dr. K.G. Ramamurthy. I think Dr. S.V. Garu, Reddy Garu must be knowing. And Dr. I must say Dr. Achudan, who was in ISI, who taught me operation research. Now he is in Australia. Followed by Dr. Our Ardhanari, and I cannot forget him because he was also part of my project guide in ISI. When it comes to Dr. C.R. Rao, I, I think you can see his photo. I can. It is there behind my Dr. C.R. Rao. He is, as in the video that I have taken on him that you saw now, a multidisciplinary, when the president was saying, US president was saying, a multidisciplinary man in multi dimensions, in multi variate analysis. Sometime I used to wonder in those days how he worked. Even with the software, I am trying to find out how to write an interpretation. Still, I am sitting on that, writing the interpretation and finding the experimental analysis. So what I am trying to say is that in Mayo Clinic in US, they are producing 1,000 papers per annum, one institute. And Massachusetts Institute of Medical Science is producing around 6,000 papers. In India, I find there are about 3,000 hospitals and institutions are there. Our paper that we are producing with so much of patient data, with so much of software, with so much of statistical analytics that we can do, we are producing only 100 papers. That too 25% of the institutions in India. Now that is the situation where patients are more, where computer science is good, where very sophisticated medical devices, very sophisticated PET, radio imaging, that PET, proton emission imaging, where the image processing is possible in the optimization, and some of the reconstructions where geometric tolerances are made, where I have worked in two areas, and still the normal range for many parameters are still not known. Normal range, we use the word standardization to get out of the unit of measurements. So they talk in international million units, picogram per milliliter, nanogram per deciliter. So they are talking in a very microbiological, nanobiological, picobiological. So such a finer analysis, the cutoff point, which is the optimum cutoff point, so that they can intervene in a right time, in a right manner, in a right place. This is something that is a challenging to the doctors. I tell you, ventilation to ECMO, when you should change. ECMO to tissue, when you should change. LSCS birth through LSCS, sectional abdominal, when you should intervene, or should you wait for your natural delivery. This sort of time to intervene requires a good optimization model. And similarly, cost. I should say a simple example. Urine routine test is very common, where there are about 11 category variables. Why I am talking very applied thing is that Indian medical science, the government of India is spending a lot of money on pharma, and they are integrating with the Ayush Ministry, that our Ayurvedic and Unanic and Siddha, along with the diagnostic and interventional methods of allopathic, if it joins well, it can make a very good impact. Why I am saying is that you will find that Germany is known for all chemical and engineering. Definitely they are in the forefront of pharma companies, Germany and Swiss. Rochein lab is there. I used to work with them now. But I was surprised that the companies Schreiber and Kraffer, they are producing herbal medicines for breast cancer. When we are studying Kapasura Neer for Corona, it was not accepted. But the way they make the experimental studies, the way they make the meta-analysis, the way they make the cutoff points, it was very, very impressive. Here in India, I find the doctors, despite having hands-on skills, the knowledge I find can be further improved with statistical inputs. They will get a complete people with analytical knowledge. This is what I would put it. One is about time to intervene. Second is about which variable to consider, which I was talking about urine culture. Simple urine test, you will have 11 variables. Albumin presence or not. Urine color or. Then you will have a sugar. Then you will have a pus cells. Then you will have epithelial cells. Then you will have RBCs. Whether the urinary tract is infected or not. I can tell you, women urinary tract infection is very high in India, and it is more than, I can say, 25%. This urinary infection, then it goes to bacterial infections. Then it comes to, if it is a gestational mother, it gives a problem. There are various types of bacterial things are there. If you want to check the entire thing for a gestational woman, you have to spend a lot of time. They have to wait. By the time the fetal growth may get affected, in such situations, how many variables that we should consider immediately to intervene? How when they are interdependent? This is one area. I find that unnecessary test in India, there is a general perception. The doctor prescribes nowadays, they are not treating the patient, they are treating the reports. Is such a thing? Feeling is there. So much of reports, after that they are intervening. Now, whether such a large amount of reports are needed or with minimum test, whether we can intervene. Which are all the variables that are related? These are one area, the variables that we should take into consideration. I was studying 36 variables for a pediatrician. When a 12-year below person, I am telling from different thing. I have worked in foundries, I have worked in automobiles, I have worked in textiles, and I found that they spend time on analytical time. But in the case of doctors, they spend more time with the patients. They spend more time with the students of teaching what they have learned, but they could not spend much time on data analysis. Sometimes when I even interact with them, they say that to avoid all this mathematics only we took this group. Now again we need to study means how to do that. So we should make it more interesting to them, more novel insight to them, and more inductive method. That is, they are going patient specific. We should make it population inductive. Deduction and induction, general to specific and specific to general, as we all know. This generalization is one thing that is demanded now. See, Remdesivir was earlier prescribed, now it is withdrawn. This hydroxychloroquine chlorine, this was earlier prescribed, now withdrawn. Even President was prescribing. So this, what I call it, the variables and then the interventions of the drug therapy. I tell you, in the case of hyperthyroid cases, where TSH is checked, T3 is checked, T4 is checked, that is the gland in near the, how these three are following. Some people will not check free bone protein T3. Some people will not check T4. They will only see T3, T4 are anyhow compensated by TSH from pituitary glands of the cerebral thing. From there we can find out that how these T4 are not balanced. Then we can decide. If you find statistically, you will find that the decision is not correct, and clinically also it is not correct. So we have to develop three variables into one variable, a good transformation, then optimize it, which is better, cutoff point, so that by the time the baby is delivered, it doesn't become a neonatal care ICU baby, because induction of antibiotics during bacterial infections or drug therapies, they use levothyroxine when it is a hypothyroid cases. Sometimes they give 100 grams, sometimes they give 50 grams, sometimes they give 75 milligrams. Now, who can optimize this dosage? Only people like us can optimize this dosage. I am talking applied research of operation research, applied research. First time to intervene, select two time the variables that we should select. Third is, I want to say, I have a slides, I can show you all the slides, but I do not want to. I want to say just hands-on knowledge that I can experience in this. Third one is time, variables, dosage optimization. That's what I was talking. Which dosage, 100 or 50 or. Fourth one is very important is your cost optimization. That prognosis after procedure is over, how many days they should be in the hospital, how many reviews they should make it, so that they can plan their insurance, they can plan their economics of their family life. A person had a leg injury, and whether the leg has to be amputated or salvaged. In that case, after everything is over, they ask when I can resume my job. That time a cost is to be given, so that the family can also. I have worked in all these areas. I won't say that I have done a great job. I say that I have identified the areas, published papers in British journals and American gynecological journals and American nephrological journals. I find that optimization scope in the humanosphere. I like that word, Dr. Reddy Garu. Sir, you have given this name? How did you get this name? I'm sorry. Dr. Reddy Garu or one of you can reply. How you coined this name? Humanosphere?
Professor Srinivasa suggested this, the theme of this, Professor K. Srinivasa Rao.
I know him. That's great that he touched the nice name of humanosphere. That is actually 360-degree optimization of the various areas of the populations. One is where I talked about healthcare. Today I will restrict myself to healthcare. One of the studies that I made, I am not showing. Is it okay? I am not showing slides. Should I?
No.
Okay, I am just sharing. This was about chronic kidney disease patients. That means anybody can have a kidney problem. It is not age related. It is not gender related. The kidney problem can come from different background of the people, and it is given by glomerular filtrate index. That means your creatinine level with our body area. It is found that GFR, they call it. GFR, what level, which is how it is discriminated. Higher the level, bad is the functions of the kidney. That they will go for renal failure, then it comes to the dialysis of. So to tell simply, very simply, I want to say that I should thank Dr. C.R.RAO here. I should thank means profusely ovation, because the way he had made that experimental concept, when he was talking with chief nephrologist in India, also in American societies, He was surprised that these simple methods were not much known to the industry, the healthcare industry. Pharmas are doing, but they are going by the result, not in the planning. The planning stage, what all the things that should be taken care in the experimentation. The way Dr. C.R.RAO and Taguchi have evolved, I find that there is a lot of scope that Indian government is now coming with pharma companies. Now they are giving a fund also. Our Honorable Minister Nirmala Sitharaman gave heavy fund for pharma, and a lot of clinical trials are happening. National Institute of Health, NIH, has come out with 9,000 proposals. Some of them are with design of experiments with clinical trial. But they say that there is a protocol that has to be done. The protocol is very stringent and strict protocol. Actually, it is all the concepts of design of experiments. If you satisfy the principles of 14 principles of design of experiments, you can find out a good equation. After finding the equations, you can find out which variables are very important. From that, you can find out what is the constrained optimization that can be done to decide the cutoff level, the normal range. I did one work. This government is giving 1,000 rupees for dialysis under their insurance scheme. And hemodialysis is the blood is purified by a machine because kidney is failed. What is purified? It is removing toxin. Like in effluent treatment plant, this is another treatment plant that the dialysis machine taking over the functions of the kidney. The kidney is working in a continuous level every minute, every second. It is filtering the salt and toxins from our blood, and then it is getting into the urea as a uremic parameters of sodium, creatine, potassium, all those. Then blood is clean, then it is going to the heart. So that's one part. I did 2 papers on, I developed a food supplements with a pharma company called, they did not ask me to tell this name because it is going for patent. It is we call it therapeutic food supplement, I will call it. And there is a pharma name where proteases with synthesization are taking place. In that, when I find that, this is very interesting, that when a patient is subject to dialysis, the blood temperature is increasing. In 4 hours, it will increase such a way that he is already mentally stressed. His quality of living on his own is also affected. But when he is on hemodialysis, after 4 hours, he becomes tired. That case, when kidney is working 24 hours, it is not working now at all. Now you are cleaning it in 4 hours. The efficacy and safety have to be looked into. And during that process, one thing that was found was the temperature of the blood increases. And there is a setting in the machine, but even whatever you set, it will increase. So because it is running low, running blood. Now we found that can we do something? When the blood increases, temperature increases, then what will happen is that the blood that is going to the very narrow cerebral arteries. This is where I have gone through kidney functions to the neurological functions, where cerebral artery, left and right, and basilar artery, these 3 are supplying blood, oxygenated blood to the brain. From there only all things are functioning. During the hemodialysis, the blood flow is changing. Blood flow rate, centimeter per second, is changing. When it is changing, what will happen is that when it is stenosis, that is the contraction of the arteries, it will increase the pressure. So the pressure is systolic and diastolic. Every minute the heart is pumping. Now it is becoming a challenge. That we took a device, transcranial Doppler machine, kept on the skull. Transcranial is your skull, without the bones of your face, and skull one. Under that, this machine is kept. Then blood flow is noted. We found blood flow measurement. The metric is another important, where statistical things are very useful. They were using systolic peak and diastolic end. Systolic peak and diastolic flow rates, and then they take an average mean. That is why the the device is working. And then we found that variation sigma is important. They said that is not needed, we will go by mean. I am not saying anything, that the traditional way of diagnosis and further way of seeing inside. And when I was sitting with very highly experienced neurologists from Kerala, very highly experienced neurologists from, I can put it in Lucknow, we worked together, we found that pulsatility index, the variation of the systolic and the diastolic, the difference in the mean, that metric is important. When I take that metric with the 3, there were about 12 responses, they call it outcome. When that responses, I find which patients you will get it. Choosing the subjects and experimental units, the patient should be comfortable to give their consent that I can do experiment on them. Then when I started doing the experiment on the patients, we found that again the patients' parameters are varying. Their age is varying, their weight is varying, the ultrafiltrate, that means when kidney fails, the fluid accumulates in the body, they gain weight 3 to 4 kilos due to the urine that is not getting out. It increases about 3 to 4 kilos, the ultrafiltrate. Then if it is more than 4, that is a problem. If it is less than 4, then ultrafiltrate is one factor. And for fourth one, BP itself, systolic and diastolic BP itself. Now pulse rate also. All these are all going to affect the blood flow. Now in these so many variables, which one I should take? We have to do cluster variables, principal components. From that, we found that we cannot just like that use it, because the age is varying. Now we have to do the cohort of patients. They do usually inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria and then conduct the experiment. But it cannot be an inductive scope. So we need to make a cohort of patients that in these patients weight is below say 53, weight is above 54, 53, BP is say 160, 80 and BP is say above 160, 80. Definitely BP will increase over the dialysis period. That's all proven one. Hypothyroid will increase. But what will happen to the blood velocity? They may go to coma. That is what increased blood pressure, blood flow will be there, or reduced will be there, or some of the parts may not get blood during the dialysis. It depends on the particular patient. Actually, what happens is the primary aim. So, whether we should leave the temperature to increase or not. Then there is a method we found that you can reduce the temperature calibrating for each patient. You can take the temperature from below the tongue, you can take the temperature from your armpit. It is temperant temperature is your eardrum. From there if you take the temperature, say it is 37, reduce half degree on the machine and see how it is. Keep the standard hemodialysis machine. Another is cool dialysis. This is individual cool dialysis. Very cool. We reduce the temperature by half degree. Now whether it is improving the blood flow or not, that is a problem. Now when you try to optimize that, the optimization was that what should be the range for your blood flow, what should be the range for pressure, what should be the range for age, what should be the range for weight, so that you can do this experiment, this cutoff level. This is what I found, that the time to intervene 4 hours or 3 hours, and second, the type of variables that we take it for the diagnosis. I conducted the experiment of 4 variables: age, ultrafiltrate, I think, and yes, ultrafiltrate, and third one was BP, and fourth one was weight of the patient. With these 4, we take high level, low level. We do an orthogonal array experimentation. Really, I was thankful to Dr. P.R.C.R.RAO and Taguchi, who have taught me in Mysore labs those days, and Baroda on industry. And I was interviewed by a team of people, Dr. B.P. Adhikari and our Dr. Achyutan. So I did that, and it became a very good finding, and it was put in American Society of Nephrology. Last week it got published. The Indian pharma company product was published, and this was also submitted to National Board of Examinations. This paper on individual cool dialysis, how it will help the patient's quality of living and this. So that way, I find that these experimental techniques are so useful in our methods of analysis. And I thought I should share this my experience of learning experimental designs and optimization. Earlier, I did one work on cotton industry of optimizing the cost alloy. Third one I did on optimizing the cost of alloy of foundry minerals. But this one I find is more challenging because of the various dimensions of the objects. I am so much thankful to our Dr. S.V. Reddy Garu, and that I gave me a good chance to speak about how experimental designs and optimization goes together, an Indian scope in these areas. I thank you so much, sir, for giving me opportunity. And once again, I wish that all these areas are solved, and 2021 we meet. We meet in Tirupati, and we have a prospective year economically. And the government is also working. We are all working on the uncertainties. I wish you all happy year, advance greetings of 2021. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rajgopal, for your nice message, nice talk on clinical trials. Especially, I know that so you have done a very validated work also for covered. It's very accidental because so now you called me in the morning and I said that you must come for the validated work, and
that is
so very nice. So I'm very happy. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I ask some questions?
Yes, please, sir.
Sir, in hemodialysis, the blood pressure is varied from patient to patient.
Yes.
Because I am experienced, my mother has died with CKD only.
Yes.
So I have experienced with that how the patient has been reacting, and then what levels of blood vessel and what much of percentage temperature should be kept in the while in the hemodialysis.
Yes.
Sir, specific any theory is there that these people, if this much of weight of the particular patient,
that is what we have done. Exactly.
And this much of blood pressure.
Yes.
Because the CKD will be failure because of the high blood pressure. Generally, CKD will come into the picture.
Yes, that is what we have made 160/80 above 160/80.
Okay.
And age below 34 and age above 34.
Okay.
And ultrafiltrate the before CKD intradilate weight.
Okay.
Intradialysis weight, if it is more than 2.5 kilos and below 2.5 kilos.
Okay.
And fourth one is their weight in themselves. So these are all something that very, very important criteria in the hemodialysis. When the temperature increases, the flow to the body is getting affected. So that flow is
that type of situation, then weight cannot be a major parameter in that.
Weight is also important.
No,
when
sir,
you do cool dialysis,
cool
dialysis is reducing the temperature by half degree, taking the individual patient's ear temperament temperature, measure it there, reduce by half degree, it works well, cool dialysis. But this is not still in practice.
Okay.
Because now only we have come out with the paper, and it will come as a protocol. Maybe our Dr. Pradeep is taking to US. Then it will become a protocol of hemodialysis of individual cool dialysis. I'm sorry that you had experienced this and you lost your mother.
Yes,
At
sir.
what age she died?
Basing on that motivation only, I was entered into the research field in study.
Yes, that is actually nice that I talked on that. And CKD is a very challenging one. And salt intake is the reason. And Indian salt intake is very high.
Yeah.
And they are saying 2 to 5, below 2.5 to 5 grams. But easily anybody is taking more than 5 grams. 7 grams, 8 grams, and northern part of India and Andhra, they keep the pickle on the table.
Yes.
Definitely it is all showing in the after 40 years. Saltintake.com, I have developed one software itself. You can see 24 hours saltintake.com. I developed a protocol with another Garwar doctor nephrologist. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. S.P. Reddy garu.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So if anybody is having doubts because of running time, so everybody is very anxious to close this valedictory ceremony as well as possible. So if anybody having doubts, please contact Professor Rajgopal because he is always helping for all of the students or the scholars or teachers for any health issues relating particularly for that. So I'm happy, So I'm happy to say one message from Professor Ramamurthy Ralapalli. He was the former Vice Chancellor of Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati. Right now he is in USA. So he has sent a message to me. Most revered Professor C.R.RAO garu, let me at the outset pay my respectable greetings on your centenary event and pray the Lord Sri Venkateswara to bestow his blessings to you. You have been more than an icon in the areas of teaching and research in several aspects of statistics and related subjects. I vividly recall you are being honored with Doctor of Science honorary cause in Sri Venkateswara University when I was the Vice Chancellor, and many times I met you in University Park, Pennsylvania, while you were everly professor. God obtained you to serve as a role model scientist, young and old. I am forced to miss the 3-day seminar being organized by Professor Rajshekhar Reddy at Tirupati, as I am in Houston, Texas at this time. Let me express my profound and respectful regards to this Professor R. Ramamurthy. He is a former president of Indian Science Congress. So that is the message from Professor Ramamurthy garu. Now we will show some only 5 pictures. Then we will start our valedictory program. Because C.R.RAO is having long association with the Department of Statistics, to my knowledge, so he came to our Venkateswara University in 1975, 1976, when I was the first MSc statistics student. He came for our university. Then from that date, he attended several conferences like econometrics, like statistics, like war, like workshop geostatistics, all things. So now, because of and he is very keen on whenever he is coming for Tirupati, and he is generally he may go for darshan. Madam is very particular, and always she is now informing me, Rajshekhar, we have faced so much trouble while coming for darshan every time. So now I told one time to Madam, please give a chance to me. So he came on November 20. I asked him, Professor C.R.RAO and his wife, to come on November 19, so in connection with the 22nd geostatistics workshop. Since he came as a chief guest for that function, so as per my request, he came on 19th evening. So I took him to Tirumala Darshan because after gone to Darshan, then Professor Rao asked 2 questions. So what happened? Till every time I saw several singing few lines and rush, so much rush, afraid of. So, but this time you have taken me without any shoes, without any darshan, directly you have it. That one. That I told him that this is called Mukhatwaram. This is a very important Mukhatwaram entrance, because that darshan is given only from only, because by the time I was doing a project, few lines project, I have that privilege to go in front of the temple for darshan because of collecting pilgrims service time in, time out, like that. So because of that, and I have informed the executive TTD that PRRAO is Padma VIBHUSHAN, and moreover everybody knows that War Society of India Tirupati chapter is very active while introducing the time darshan of Lord Balaji Tirupati. Today, everybody, almost all the pilgrims, most of the pilgrims, you know that you are all aware that time darshan. This time darshan concept started in 1999 February 4th when we initiated the War Society of India Tirupati chapter. At the time of the inauguration, Professor Shadugopan gave this concept to TTD. Till after that, Shadugopan appointed as the advisory member for Tribhula Tirupati Devasthanam. Till this TTD, regularly we have done several surveys and several projects to TTD. So that way we have a lot of interaction. Just now Professor Rajgopal told that many of the conferences which I organized in statistics and operational research, and many of the speakers, pilgrim participants, we have arranged a good darshan for darshan. So because of this concept, Professor C.R.RAO, on that day I told him after coming over from the temple, I told him that because that today is my birthday, so and I need your blessing. So immediately, so he told me, and today we are going to meet in what place along with students. Because of C.R.RAO coming over to Tirupati in geostrategic workshop, some inaugural of our department seminar hall. And Madam also told Rajshekar Reddy, this date, 20th November, I am unable to forget because of those days when the then executive officer Anna was there. We have such a beautiful darshan. Again, after long years, till today, we had such a very good darshan because of what went up the temple. We are very lucky. So this day, November 20th. That's why, while organizing this webinar, I have my mind to do it on November 20th. That is first very interesting about Professor C.R.RAO. Then it is coincide of my birthday. Okay. So that way. So thank you. So I will show some photos with C.R.RAO on November 20th, where he arranged a cake and bouquet to me in the Water Bliss in Tirupati.
Good.
Yeah, not to yeah. So now at the program, so I'm very happy to say a few words on this valedictory address, so that valedictory function. So it's my delighted to say on this words on the type of on webinar, international webinar in connection with Professor C.R.RAO celebration. Actually, was organizing Statistics International webinar during 7th to 10th September we have an idea because of since I was the former president of Operational Research Society of India also. Since why not we can also think of to do war webinar. So this date we have fixed 20th, 21st, 22nd, and we have organized this webinar, and almost 25 speakers have. I'm very happy that almost speakers responded from all over IISc. I am extremely happy to some senior status academicians responded very positively to our request to present an invited talk in honor of Dr. C.R.RAO birth centenary celebration. Because of many speakers, since when I was the former president for War Society of India, I have IIM people, so that ISI, so that many people I have in contact with them because of things of organizing the conference and workshops. So immediately they all responded. I am grateful to them. And because of so I retired 4 years back because of motivation. We are organizing this type of webinar due to this corona pandemic. So I am really happy today about the international webinar which we are doing in honor of Professor C.R.RAO birth centenary celebration. So I am once again thanks to all the speakers and for all the faculty members who are all attended regularly from all these 3 days, almost from morning 9 to evening 5 o'clock. So once again, so it's my really because of there are even recently when after 2013 Professor C.R.RAO came to Tirupati for Telugu Mahasabhalu. So he has received a World Telugu Mahasabhalu. In that context, he came to Tirupati. After that, he didn't come to Tirupati because he was in the USA only. When I went to USA, while going from USA, I just thinking about Professor C.R.RAO, at least make a call. But very accidentally, I met Professor C.R.RAO at Buffalo. So while one day I went to Niagara Waterfall. Because of going to Niagara Waterfalls, I stayed at Buffalo for afternoon lunch because of my teacher's son invited me for lunch. When I went there, very casual, he told me that here Professor C.R.RAO daughter is staying in Buffalo. Then I asked that boy to give phone number of Teja Rao. So I just to say hello. But I am very lucky, I am very fortunate that Professor C.R.RAO has lifted my phone call and he asked me, where are you and where? No, sir, I am right now in Buffalo. Then next day he asked me to come and see. I was with him 1 hour. So that photos also I have shown to you. Okay, so I am in that way. 2004 also I met him, and 2005 also I called him from USA. 15, sorry. So 2014 and 2015 I met him. But so after that I didn't go to USA. Now again if I get the chance next year or next I will go to USA. I will plan to go and see him in Buffalo. Okay. So now in that way, because most of the time I have very good contact after becoming president of Indian Society for Probability and Statistics and honorary president of ISPS. So Professor C.R.RAO, several universities, he asked through me, he has donated gold medal. So whenever the universities he offers, then immediately I will get a CC. Rajshekar Reddy, can you help for that university to institute a gold medal? So because of he is taking always advice through me, and he has donated 5 lakhs to our Venkateswara University, 1 gold medal, 3 endowment lecture, and another one for our World Students Association also he has given 2 lakhs, and he has given 3.5 lakhs to our ISPS. Such a very generous, he has given money to all the universities, some universities I know, Kerala, Uthmania, like Madras University, Colombo, recently Colombo University also he has given. very, very cordial, so that whenever he said that I traveled, I took it from the airport. Whenever he's coming to Tirupati, then he asked Rajshekar, where is Rajshekar, to go for that seminar, all the things, and he asked me to drop at one of my relative house, Centenary. Whenever he's coming, he asked me, go to Centenary house, you please drop me at his house. So such a very cordial relation which I have. I am very fortunate because of the Lord's blessing, so that we have such a support I have. So thank you. So now I request our organizing secretary, before organizing secretary, we will take some feedback, because more important is feedback. So because many people are watching regularly, we are here in the Google Meet and there that also. So we are collecting feedback from the participants. Now we request Principal Babu Sahab, from core. Okay. I request you, sir, please.
Please unmute yourself.
Unmute.
Sir, please unmute, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I am very much thankful, Venkateswaran sir, for giving me opportunity to give feedback in this valedictory function. I want to express my gratitude to the key organizer, Professor P. Rajshekar Reddy, Honorable President SPS and President of ORSI Tirupati chapter. Sir, I am very much happy to be attending this international webinar on the occasion of birth centenary celebration of Professor C.R.RAO, Padma VIBHUSHAN awardee. As you said, now I am from first session on 20th November at 9 p.m. to till this. I am attending almost all sessions, and I am very much happy to say here that all the sessions I liked very much. All the sessions are very much informative, and definitely they are useful to us. All the resource persons, speakers are nicely presented their views, their knowledge to on these corresponding chapters. One thing I want to say, Professor Rajshekar Reddy, that I have personally met you and visited to Tirupati in the previous ISPS conference, and so I personally thank you very much, sir. You and also to the Venkateswaran, I have phone number of Venkateswaran. He called me and provided the link of Google Meet. So I got the opportunity to present in this Google Meet and present my views regarding, overall views regarding this international webinar. Once again, I am very much thankful for this nice organization and giving me opportunity in this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice message. And next one is Dr. Monisha Portaku.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. And I really like to thank you, Professor Reddy, for inviting me, and then all great learned people whom we got the opportunity to hear. Everyone spoke of different fields. Somebody spoke about healthcare, somebody spoke about new pandemic area, supply chain, and today Sir Rajagopal sir talked about experimental design. So diversified field and lectures we got to hear from OR and statistics. I am not from academic line, I come from corporate industry, but we, as I said yesterday, everywhere we apply this, and I'm really taking this a big takeaway for me, that in every field, every project that we do, we anyways apply, but now also I'm so delighted to see the work, it has gone in depth, and this has given that kind of exposure in last 3 days. And also we got the opportunity to celebrate two happy birthdays actually. Not only Professor C.R.RAO, also a very very happy birthday to you, sir. And then it's great the way you organized. As you said, we met in way back 1997, but due to this conference, somewhere you meet, and then that connect remains forever. So similarly, I heard so many great people across different fields, and that will remain forever if you go next wherever. And I would be really grateful and would like to be part of these kind of forums in future as well. And I wish you all the very best. OR Society of India, OR Society of India Tirupati chapter, and everybody who is there here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha. Yeah, I'm very happy about your message. So that, so because I told you that Manisha and myself, we attended that Asia Pacific War Conference in 1997. So that by the time I have, so it is only just doing PhD student, I am only just working as a reader only. We never expected that we are we went to USA and doing Stanford University and lot of learning and now working in Tata Infosys company. And we never expected that because I am only just now coming over to that place to present a paper and coming back and enjoy. But the port got closed. I entered and I did this after coming over from Australia. That is the only turning point there for me. Because of starting War Society of India Tirupati chapter and introduction of the time darshan for Lord. And from that exposure, I went going to War Society and nothing. So thank you, Monica, because of that. But the same thing I told to my student Ganesh. Okay. Thank you. Next one is Professor Dr. R.V.S. Prasad.
The Honorable President, ISPS, and the President of RSI Tirupati Chapter, Professor Rajsekhar Reddy, Professor Rajgopal, the dignitaries on the screen, off the screen, and my dear participants. Very good evening to all. At the outset, let me thank my well-wisher, Professor Rajsekhar Reddy, sir, for giving me an opportunity to participate in this international webinar on advances in operating systems for optimal humanosphere. On this occasion, I have to recollect my association with Professor C.R.RAO, the living legend who celebrated his 100th birthday recently. I have the privilege of felicitating Professor C.R.RAO at Nellore in the year 2007 on behalf of Singapore Statistics Association. Me, the members of the association felicitated Professor C.R.RAO in Town Hall of Nellore in a very grand manner. All the teachers of statistics of affiliated colleges and the universities of Andhra Pradesh and various universities of our country attended this conference, and it is a most memorable occasion of my life. And Professor Rajsekhar Reddy sir helped me a lot for the grand success of this function. And before passing on my remarks about this webinar, I want to bring one thing to the participants. The Templeton Tirupati is celebrating two world famous functions at Tirupati every year. The first one is Brahmotsavams for Lord Venkateswara at Tirumala and to Padmavati Amma at Tirusanu. And the second function is the International Conference of ORSI Tirupati chapter. Right from the beginning, Professor Rajsekhar Reddy is taking a lot of pains for the grand success of this conference since 1999, and several renowned statisticians and OR specialists rushed to this temple town for two reasons. The first reason is to share the knowledge with the participants of the conference, and the second reason is to enjoy the hospitality provided by Professor Rajsekhar Reddy throughout the conference. In past conferences which were conducted offline created festival environments for the participants in all respects. Several Reputed statisticians were honored and felicitated by the organizers of ORSI during its conferences. And due to the prevailing pandemic situation, we all missed this festival environment, and now we all went online to conduct this prestigious international conference as webinar by limiting ourselves to our houses. But no regrets. We enjoyed the shared knowledge by the experts who presented their innovative deliberations during these 3 days. In the inaugural function, the speaker explained the objectives of the international webinar, and Professor Hemachandra Reddy, the chairman of PROF.C.R.RAO, well explained the optimal humanosphere and its scope. I had the great opportunity to listen and to share my views with Professor Centenary, Professor Krishnamurthy, Professor Arvignan, and Professor Pakkala, and other versatile speakers. The deliberation on stochastic models for prediction of COVID-19 spread and control is quite apt and thought-provoking. Thank you very much, Professor Pakkala sir. And the hybridization of statistical machine learning methods in data analytics by Professor Ashish Kumar Chakravarti is very, very interesting. Due to the time constraint, I am not able to bring several deliberations which inspired me a lot. Thank you very much, Professor Rajshekhar Reddy sir, for the pains taken by you for the grand success of this international webinar. My profound thanks to you, sir, for giving me an opportunity to share today's afternoon session. My Padnamaskaram to my teacher and founder, Professor Ananda Rajasari sir, who effectively taught me measure theory, SQC, and the theory of reliability, which inspired me to teach statistics effectively and to write a textbook, Quality Reliability Operations Research, published by Telugu Academy, Hyderabad. My Ashirvachanam to Srimati Dr. P. Lavanya Kumari, most effective and lovable my student at UG level, working at AZ University, Tirupati. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Prasad, for all your good words. Thank you. Now, is there anybody? Lavanya, because I understand the right from session inauguration till end, Lavanya Kumari attended all the lectures. So would you like to speak something, Lavanya?
Good evening, all of you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have been following each and every lecture given by many experts in this platform, and I thank Professor Rajshekhar Reddy garu for giving this opportunity to me, and my UG Guru, Professor R.V.S. Prasad sir, for his blessings, and my wishes to Dr. Ganesh for his good lecture, and am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
And sincere thanks to Dr. Monisha ji for his entire follow-up for all these sessions. Even she is from industry side. And sir, this is wholeheartedly I tell one thing here. By keeping all the titles of this seminar, we can say one thing here. We did justice for the topic, that is humanosphere topic. So it is very wonderful, sir. And I am working some of the areas of operation research in which I have been working, and I have enriched some knowledge, and I have taken some thoughts. And in future works also I will incorporate all these things. And thank you each one of the speaker in the international webinar. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Lavanya. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Next one is Secretary, Organizing Secretary report.
Very good evening to all the speakers in the meet, and very good evening to all the participants. So first of all, this international webinar, the initiation has been started by my guide, Professor Rashekar Reddy sir, who started with initiation, and it has been went on very well with the support of all your speakers and the participants. So as we all know that this particular webinar has been organized in connection with the Professor PROF.C.R.RAO World Centenary celebration. We have been done with this international webinar on advances operational research in optimizing the humanosphere. So here we have registered within 700 plus participants, and they have been in the YouTube live. Some of them has been joined in the Google Meet. So with this webinar, we have been went with 25 invited lectures. On each day, we have been went with 7 to 8 lectures in 3 days, where the speakers are from ISI, IIT, and different parts of the country. Abroad speakers also, they have been, even though they are having a late night time, they have been joining the webinar and delivered their lectures. So I am very happy for that one. So then at the same time, some 2 to 3 speakers have been unable to join the webinar due to their prayer schedules, even though we have been adjusted with the persons who have been actively, spontaneously, they have been come over to give the talk here. So similarly, the day 1 has been started with the inauguration. So in the inauguration, Professor Rashekar Reddy sir, honorary president of ISPS and president of ORSI Tirupati chapter, has welcomed the guests. So then Professor Hemchandra Reddy sir, chairman, AP Higher Education, has attended the webinar as a chief guest and addresses the gathering. Similarly, Professor M.R. Rao, Indian School of Business, Dr. Ashok Kumar Mittal, IIT Kanpur, Professor Bijan Sarkar, Secretary ORSI, Professor Anand Rajachari, Rayalaseema University, Kurnool, has delivered messages, inaugural messages, the inauguration of the webinar. Then Professor K. Srinivasa Rao, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, has given a detailed version on the theme of the webinar, particularly on the humanosphere. So then we had the keynote address from Professor M.R. Rao, Indian School of Business. So then we have been started with an lectures, that is in the session 1, that is in the first day. We went with Professor T.S. Adhanari, former Professor ISI Bangalore, currently he is in the University of Auckland, New Zealand. So then Professor Ashish Kumar Chakravarti from ISI Kolkata, Professor C.K. Jaggi from University of Delhi. So for these 4 lectures, Professor Rashekar Reddy sir has been chaired for the first 2, then Professor Akhil Arma sir has been chaired for the next 2 lectures. So then further, in the day 1 in the afternoon, that is in the session 2, Professor P.R. Vittal sir from University of Madras has chaired this session. So under his chairing, Professor A. Krishnamurthy, Cochin University, Cochin, Professor G. Ariviragyan, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai. So then he himself, Professor P.R. Vittal, University of Madras, has delivered the talks in the day 1. So then we have been went with the day 2 in the morning session, that is in the session 3. Professor S.E. Malik, MD University, Rohtak, has chaired the session. Under his chairing, Professor Srinivas R. Chakravarti, Kettering University, USA. So Professor S.E. Malik himself has delivered. So due to the unavailability of one more speaker, that is Professor Sopan Bhattacharya sir, unable to join the webinar. So in this place, Professor S.E. Malik, MD University, then Professor D. Chandra from IIT Delhi has been delivered the lecture. Then Professor Nachiappan Subramaniam from University of Sussex Business School, UK. So then further, Professor A. Ramakrishna Rao has chaired the session, Director, SPNED Engineering College. Under his chairmanship, Professor P.K. Ray, Professor Ravi Narayana Subbu has delivered their lectures in the morning session. So then after, in the post-lunch session, the day 2, Dr. T. Ganesh, NIT Hamirpur, Himachal Pradesh, has chaired this session. Under his chair, Professor K. Madhuleti from SP Jain School of Global Management, Mumbai. Professor Nita Shah from Gujarat University. So then Professor Pankaj Gupta, University of Delhi, has delivered their invited talks. So then further, Dr. P. Lavanya Kumari, Agriculture College, Tirupati, has chaired the session. So under her chair, Professor T.P.M. Pakala, Mangalore University, Mangalore. Dr. Monisha Borgu, Infosys, New Delhi, has delivered their talks. So then in the last day, in the day 3, the morning session 5, Dr. Harshavardhan, Krishna Teja College, Tirupati, has chaired the session. Under his chair, Professor Krishna T. Kumar has delivered the lecture. So then Professor C.S. Lalita, University of Delhi, Professor Bijan Sarkar, Honorary Secretary of ORSI, has delivered their lecture. So then in the after the break, Professor Anand Rajachari, founder professor of OR and SQC, Rayalaseema University, has chaired this session. Under his chair, Professor Irfan Ali from Aligarh Muslim University, Professor Dharmaraja from Department of Mathematics, IIT Delhi, has delivered their talks. And in the post-lunch session, that is in our last session, as chaired by Dr. R.V.S. Prasad, Professor of Statistics, Government Degree College, Nellore, as chaired. Under his chair, Professor P.L.K. Palaniappan, Tyagaraja College of Engineering, Madurai. So then Dr. T. Ganesh, NIT Hamipur, Himachal Pradesh, has delivered their talks. So then further we have been entered into the valedictory address. Valedictory address has been given by Professor A. Rajagopal sir, ASI Coimbatore. So then further we have been concluded with the remarks. And I am very much thankful to all the speakers who spared their valuable time here. And also I also thank the participants. Without them, the program will not be. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So next part will be the formal vote of thanks by Dr.
Good evening, all. I am formally present the vote of thanks. I am happy to express the formal vote of thanks in the international webinar on advanced in operational research for optimal humanosphere. The day 2022, November 20. First, I would like to thank Professor P.R.R.AO sir, my guide. First, I would like to thank my professor, my guide, for planning a webinar in this pandemic situation and providing a chance, the organizing secretary. I am also thankful to Dr. Venkateswaran, my senior, is the organizing secretary, for his support. I thank this opportunity to thank Professor K. Hamchandra Reddy, chairman of AP Higher Education. He is accepted chief guest of this webinar. And I also thank to Professor A.K. Mittal and Professor M.R. Rao and Professor K.S. Rao and Professor Vijayan Sarkar and Professor Anandarajachari for delivering his messages in inaugural function. Professor S.P. Kane, former Vice Chancellor Nagpur University, has delivered his message to a recording video. And also I thank to different parts of India in Operational Research Society of states, Bhubaneswar chapter, Madurai chapter, and all chapters, support the all chapters. I place my heartful thanks to the speakers from the various part of world, ISI, IIT, IIM and USA, for sparing their valuable time in the academic platform. I am also thanks to the chairpersons who have conducted the sessions successfully. Last but not least, the participants, without their patience in the world, will not be successful this function. I thank each and everyone to support this webinar. I thank.
Yeah, thank you. With this webinar, so today is now we are closing almost. So I am very happy that my students are all. So even though I retired 4 years back, still they are remembering me and they are all dedicated because of the work. So that what they have learned from me. So I am a teacher is a gift by the scholar. So that I am very happy. So thank you one and all. See you there.
Thank you for the organizing committee once again. Many more years to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Palaniappan. Yeah, thank you, Ganesh. Yeah, thank you, Rajagopal sir. Thank you, sir, Principal sir, Prasad. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, sir. Thanks a lot.
Lavanya, yeah, good. Yes.
Sir, again, happy birthday, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Belated happy birthday. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Very happy birthday, sir. We enjoyed a lot.
Thank you.
We'll have the cake here.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Right, good.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Lavanya ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
We'll meet again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you.
Bye, Lavanya.
Bye. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Amir, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Palanipan, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank
సార్
you.
వెంకటరమణయ్య సార్ బాగున్నారా? ఎంవీఆర్ ఎంవీఆర్ సార్ బాగున్నారా?
విడపట్లేదు సార్ సార్ పాపం.
సార్ అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవడం తెలియలేదు, అది నా టైప్.
ఓకే సార్, ఆర్వే సార్, గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్.
ఓకే మా బై మా.
Good evening.
ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్.
Okay.